Petersburg, you're on the air, WPLP.
Hello?
Hello.
I called last week and said that was the record you were playing. You lied to me. You said it wasn't.
No, it was a tape.
Tonight you said it
No,
wasn't.
no, it wasn't a record. It was a tape. I didn't lie to you.
Well, what's the difference between a record and a tape?
Well, a record is usually a black disc, rather hard. A tape is usually a flimsy little piece of brown plastic.
The intention was the same.
Well, yes, the intention was the same, yes.
So you lied to me. And
No, ma'am, I didn't lie to you. No, you said it. No, I didn't lie to you. It wasn't a record.
Well, you misrepresented.
No, I didn't misrepresent. It wasn't a record. You said it was a record, and it wasn't.
Well, I knew that.
You had said a recording.
I knew
then I would
that
have had to have fessed up.
It was an actual person.
Well, I think everybody knew that.
Well, but you denied
Especially
that.
considering that the exact same thing was said over and over and over without any difference.
The same thing over and over.
Same
and
thing,
over.
that's right. That was part of the comedic shtick, is that everything was exactly the same.
You're the most arrogant person I ever heard in my life.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Well, I'm sure you don't.
Oh, but I do.
I wouldn't be married to you for $1 million.
Oh, my dear, don't worry. There's not a chance in hell I'd ask you.
Well, I've had a wonderful husband, and you wouldn't begin to compare with him.
I wouldn't want to try.
Good night.
Sounds like an angel to me. Tampa, you're on the air at WPLP.
Good.
WPLP.
Yes, I just wanted to make a comment about the older gentleman that called in several calls back that was telling his little story.
Mm-hmm.
I think you were very obnoxious with him and very rude.
How's that?
Well, the way you reacted. Do you grow carrots in your yard? Or?
Oh, you know what I was talking about, too.
What comment is that?
Well, you knew what I was talking about, didn't you?
Did the
Same thing dawned on you. Same thing dawned on you that dawned on me, didn't it?
Did the gentleman say he was in his 80s?
No, I don't believe he gave his age. If he did, I didn't hear it.
Well, and then
But you see, the same thing dawned on you.
Girl that called in that said,
My dear.
I'd like to know
My
what
dear. See, the same thing dawned on you that dawned on me, and now you're embarrassed as all hell about it, aren't you? Brendan, you're on there at WPLP. Bradenton, you're on there at WPLP.
Bob, there's never going to be a war between Russia and America because the Jews in Russia will never throw bombs on the Jews in New York, and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
So I think all this hysteria about atomic war and all that is must be the industrial military complex just trying to make some money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sir. The question I have, first of all, is what is a talk show, radio show?
Well, it's generally thought to mean a telephone talk show. What you're listening to right now.
Okay, does that mean there's a two-way communication?
As a general rule of thumb, that is the accepted definition for a talk show.
Okay. And that means that it's not edited or censored?
Edited or censored?
Well,
it's live.
It's live.
It's live. It runs on a 3-second delay.
Okay, but in order to get on your show, do you understand that one can be censored before he gets there?
That's correct.
And also, once he gets on your show...
But, sir, it is not the government doing the censoring.
No.
It is a private individual decision.
Let's forget it. I think I love the government and the fact that what they're trying to do here.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to protect us. I happen to be one of those brain...
Trying to protect you from what, sir?
Protect
you from what?
People who have the audacity to think that they have the privilege of insulting me and the neighborhood and everybody else.
Oh, sir, Sir, I beg your pardon. You're free to insult me. I'm free to insult you. This is America, sir. You can insult anybody you want to.
I'm going to give you the insult. I'm going to call you a pig.
Oh, my goodness.
And you know what kind of a pig that is?
What kind of a pig is that, sir?
That's back where you came from the 60s. They call male chauvinist pig.
Oh, really? You apparently don't know what a male chauvinist pig is.
Well, you certainly personify it beautifully.
Oh, you're quite wrong, jerk. I'd suggest you go and look up the definition. I'd suggest you go and look up the definition of chauvinist before you make another phone call.
Oh.
You can read, can't you?
I read very well.
Could have fooled me.
And,
matter of fact, you did.
There you go. You male chauvinist pig.
Right.
You feel that you're the smartest person in the world.
No, sir, I don't.
You go around insulting
You apparently think I am, though.
Why bring this character out of New York down here?
Nobody's trying to bring this character out of New York down here, sir.
That's a New York problem.
Sir, nobody's trying to bring him down here, are they? But I guess you didn't bother to read about that.
Oh, yes, sir, I've read about it.
Oh, you've read about it? Tell me, sir, where you read that people are trying to bring Howard Stern to Tampa Bay.
I listened to your program earlier this evening, and there was a knowledgeable person on there who was telling about what happened and everything. And, you can have a very informative program, and you're a very smart person. But I don't know.
Oh, really, sir? I thought I was very dumb. Just a second ago, I was very dumb.
No. Well, you're
My, how quickly I have.
That's one thing. But
chauvinist, sir. Chauvinist.
Male chauvinist pig.
Right, I really hate to see you embarrass yourself, but if you insist, I will no longer try to set you straight.
But you are a smart person, and you can offer an awful lot to the community. But take the chip off your shoulder a little bit, and understand where we're coming from.
Sir, I couldn't care less. Sir, I couldn't care less where you're coming from, and how dare you have the audacity to call me up and tell me how to behave?
Well, because you try to tell us how to behave.
No, I don't try to tell you how to behave, sir.
You're telling us that we should be like you.
No, sir, I've never said any such thing.
Oh, no.
I wouldn't suggest that anyone be like me. I'm a recluse, sir.
Our way, if you don't do it my way, then you don't belong on this earth.
Sir, I've never said any such thing.
Oh, you imply it.
Oh, imply it, sir. I cannot help, sir. Sir, I cannot help what you infer from your ignorance.
I think, Mr. Bob Lassiter, that you have to take a good hard look, and I know there's only about 1/2 or 1% of the people that call in, and you're now out there on the airways trying to get somebody to support your cause.
No, sir, it's not my cause. Sir, it's not my cause. You see, I don't deal in that type of radio, so it's not my cause.
Oh, sure you do type of that radio.
No, sir, I don't.
Sure you do.
Well, again, sir, obviously you haven't read about it, because you don't even know what the issue is.
What I tell you, Mr. Bob Lassiter, is this one thing. I love you very much for your intelligence, and when you make a monologue, it makes good sense.
That's right, sir. You're on the air, WPLP.
Really, complete asshole.
Why is that?
Well, you don't have to ask me why I listen to your machine, your radio station, because I don't listen to it, okay?
Oh, I see.
No, I don't.
So if you don't listen to it, then how do you know?
Well, I'm going to tell you how I know. I might call if I'm during a commercial or watching a ball game, which I don't have to have the volume on, to call to see how obnoxious you're getting. And it really, really aggravates me that somebody with your sense of ignorance could sit there on the phone and intimidate old people.
With my sense of ignorance. That's an interesting phrase.
Like I said, maybe I've
never heard those two words put together before.
But how you can intimidate old people, young people, disabled people. Doesn't matter what they
Disabled people?
Pardon me?
Disabled people. That's interesting.
Well, you said it, not me. Whether they're black, white, or green, if you don't like the way they think or the way they talk, you push your little button. You remind me of a couple guys I went to school with,
Must be an awful lot of commercials on that station you're watching.
Oh, we can go home.
I said there must be an awful lot of commercials on that station that you're watching.
Not too many.
Oh, really? You seem to have a very intimate knowledge of the program.
No, not
For
too
someone
many.
that doesn't listen except during commercials.
No, not too many. But
I
anyway,
see.
I just, I want to call you, and I just want to tell you. And like I said, believe me, I wish, I know one thing. I wish the other people would boycott your commercials, your products. I don't buy Miracle Ice anymore, and I used to. There's a lot of things. I will not patronize Sears because of you. There's a lot of things I won't do because of Bob Lassiter.
Well, it seems to me the people from Miracle Ice and Sears should be thrilled.
I think you're a complete rectal mouth, and I think that something should be done to get people like you off the air.
Could I make a suggestion to you?
No, you can't make a suggestion.
I'd be delighted to. Why don't you watch these episodes to be the way you want them to be? That's why you keep trying to talk over me, and it doesn't work because I talk over you. It's the way the thing is set up electronically. I thought you wanted to ask questions, sir. A man that wants to ask questions is normally interested in hearing answers, aren't they? But you're not interested in hearing answers. You're just interested in making things up.
You cannot accept it. You were talking
about... What can't I accept, sir? Nobody heard you.
And somebody asked you if your mother believed in God, and you says that on her deathbed, she told you yes, but she lied to you then, too.
No, sir, that's not what I said at all. I said she told me no.
Well,
no, it isn't, sir.
Reiterate what
she told me no. She told her sisters yes.
She told you no?
Yes.
And she told her sisters yes.
That's correct, sir.
Did your mother lie to you or to her sister?
I have no way of knowing. Unfortunately, she's dead.
You also made the remark that you could care less, too. I don't know, maybe that yellow streak went up the front along with the back. But what have you contributed? Can you say one thing?
What would you like me to have contributed, sir? What do you consider a contribution?
What have you?
Well, tell me what you consider to be a contribution, sir.
Organizations where they could have used somebody for whether it's a Big Brother organization.
Yes, sir. I've been affiliated with the Big Brothers in the past.
Whether it was
I said, sir.
What have you contributed?
Sir, if you'll shut up your big fat mouth, I'd be delighted to answer.
I'll let you talk, but
I see you don't want answers.
I will not shut up.
Because you don't want to hear the answers, that's why.
Go ahead. Answer.
Well, I said, yes, I've been affiliated with the Big Brothers. I've been affiliated with the Little League. I've been affiliated with community theater. I've been affiliated with the Boy Scouts.
Here in this area?
No, sir, not recently, no.
Why not in this area?
Because I haven't felt like it, sir.
You haven't felt like it?
That's right.
You've said many times that
I work in the evening, sir. I work in the evening, don't I?
You work in the evening? I work in the evening, too.
Oh, interesting.
I work in the daytime, too.
Great. Glad to hear it, sir.
You've made a comment many times that you don't like this area. Maybe that's why you haven't been a contributing factor.
Maybe it is.
Then why are you here?
Because I am, sir.
Why?
Everybody's got to be someplace.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think the majority of people, let me ask you a question and be honest. Do you think the majority of people that listen to your show, would prefer to have you on the air or prefer to have you off?
Well, I would assume, sir, they would prefer to have me on.
Well, I challenge you.
Or else they must be idiots.
I challenge you to have a poll, not only one night, because you're going to need both. 2 nights, you can separate them in a week so people can talk. To see how many people would want Bob Lassiter kept on the air and how many people would want Bob Lassiter off the air. I challenge you to that.
Oh, my goodness, you do?
Yes, I do.
Oh, my.
Yes, I do. I challenge you to that.
Is that about it, or do you have more?
Oh, I've got a lot more reneging on something then. A minute ago, you said you might do that tomorrow, but now you're...
Well, that's not reneging, sir. It was a thought. I might do it tomorrow.
Called Pryor, a 73-year-old veteran who gave 2, 3, 1, 4 years of his life defending this country. You decided to whistle while he was talking.
That's right.
Wasn't that nice?
No, it was clever.
Was it? You think it was?
I beg your pardon, sir.
Tell us where you're from.
I beg your pardon, sir.
Where you're going.
I beg your pardon, sir.
Yeah, you beg. Go ahead. You beg. You have it.
Well, that was a very interesting comment.
What was that? I made
about my father.
I made several.
About my father, sir.
That's right. I said you don't know where your father is.
That's right.
So you don't even know who you are.
Oh, don't I?
Obviously not.
I see.
Tell us, who are you?
I'm me.
Who are you? Who are you?
A man with convictions, sir.
Convictions?
Uh-huh.
Somebody doesn't like your convictions, they are no good, right? They are terrible people because they don't believe what Bob Lassiter believes, do they?
Oh, sir.
Listen, you big fat pig. I want to go over and see you when you come out that door tonight. I'm going to be waiting for you. I want to tell you a story. You're going to have a red head on? Hey, you bum, you are so full of you know what. You ought to be ashamed. Hey, pig. Are you there, pig? Hey, pig. Pig. P-I-G.
Oh, pig.
Pig.
I thought you were saying
what's the matter? Can't you hear? What time do you get off? Yeah.
I'll be looking for you. Are you the one in the walker?
Goddamn ear off and shove it up your nose. You're a tough guy, aren't you? You're a tough one, huh?
Oh, not as tough as you, Harry.
When you get off the phone...
Harry, please don't be outside to beat me up.
When you get off the phone, what do you do? Wiggle and look out the door to see who's there?
Please, Harry, don't beat me up, Harry. Harry, don't cut my ear off and shove it up my nose. Please, Harry. Please, promise me, Harry. I'll let you pet Mr.
Snake.
Snake.
The next page. I want to see what it says on the next page.
Okay. You make notes for this? This isn't coming off the top of your head? This is actually thought out? Next page must be blank. It's ruined. Are you having a stroke, Harry?
Now we're going to the next page. Are you listening?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay. What is your name anyway? Peg?
Is that what's on the top of the next page? What is your name anyway?
Where are you going after you leave the station?
Wouldn't you like to know? Yes, Bubba.
Hey, you make me sick, man.
Oh, well, why
I think
is that,
you're an
Bubba?
egotistical horse's ass.
Why would you say that, Bubba?
Because you're a nasty, left-wing, limp-wristed, liver-lip, pinko, liberal, homosexual-loving pig, man. You give me diarrhea. You always putting down old people, putting down religion. You make me sick, man. All these people calling you up and telling you how much they love you makes me want to vomit. Why don't you get a real job?
I can't, Bubba. It's too late in life. I have no training.
Well, why don't you just get off this radio, man, and give it over to somebody that knows what they're talking about?
Well, Bubba, what kind of work do you think I would be best suited to?
I think you ought to be out there digging ditches or something, man. Get a real job.
Digging ditches?
That's right.
But Bubba, my hands are callus-free. They're the hands of a concert pianist. I couldn't dig
your hands
ditches.
have probably got calluses on them from you masturbating so much, man. You make me sick. Get off my phone.
Hello, Bob. I wanted to talk to you about capital punishment. I have the solution to all our problems, Bob. It will bring in revenue, it will make the people happy, and it will solve overcrowding in the jails.
Great.
That's what it is, Bob.
What's that?
Gladiatorial combat. Yes, we could have Sirhan versus Charles Manson. Billy Ferry versus the other one down in Bradenton or wherever he was. Richard Benson. Look at it. Everyone would enjoy it, and then we wouldn't even have to have violent shows like Miami Vice on anymore.
I had a bad feeling about today. Just
think, Bob. No more Miami Vice. The people could go to the campus stadium. We don't even have to build an amphitheater. It's right there, Bob. There it is. There it is. The people crowding in, paying their tickets. Look at all the revenue we'd make, Bob. It would be great. It's a great idea, Bob. And if the people need it, the people need some diversion. Bread and circuses, Bob. That's what it is. Bread and circuses. What could I do, Bob? What could I do but call you?
Somewhere they'll get the hell out of this.
I'm sorry. Whoa, excuse me. I got to sneeze. Whoa, must be a lot of pollen in the air here. Whoa, I think whoa, gee whiz. Yeah, there was a time.
Do you spend an awful lot of time listening to Q105 in the morning?
You can't get enough those sugar crisps, sugar crisps, sugar crisps. You can't get enough those sugar crisps. Keep me going strong. You can't get enough those sugar crisps, sugar crisps, sugar crisps. You can't get enough those sugar crisps. Get enough those sugar crisps, sugar crisps, sugar crisps. Get enough those sugar crisps. Keep me going strong. Oh boy, I can't wait to do it again. Okay, here we go. Get enough those sugar crisps, sugar crisps, sugar crisps. We can get enough those sugar crisps. Okay, we got you. Hear me out there. Okay, here we go. Get enough those. Oh, it feels good, Bobby. It feels
good. Bobby, this is so good. Well, Baba, honey,
Clem in Waimama. Hi, you're on the air at WFLA.
Yeah, I think I know what shock radio is.
Yeah?
It's everything against Jesus Christ and everything he believes for.
Mm-hmm.
And where the hell did you come from, anyway?
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia?
Yeah.
What part of hell is that from?
It's not part of hell.
It's not?
No.
And who do you think you are coming on the radio and slamming all religion? Huh?
I'm Bob Lassiter.
You're Bob Lassiter?
Yes, I know who I am.
What's your credentials, Mr. Lassiter?
What are my credentials?
Yes. What's your credentials?
I don't need credentials.
You sure?
Positive.
You're probably a politician lover and everything else, aren't you?
A politician lover?
Sure are. You're a tool of them. You're probably the tool of everything bad in Tampa. You with everything of Tampa, aren't you?
I'm what?
You believe everything of Tampa, don't you?
I believe everything of Tampa.
Sure do, don't you?
What the hell does that mean?
What do I mean?
Yes. Your statement makes no sense. I believe everything of Tampa.
You believe everything Tampa does is right down here, right?
Have you ever listened to the program before?
I sure have.
Well, then you know the answer to that, and the answer is no.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You're appealing to all the scum out there. All the people who, you know... You're appealing to all the people who do bad things out there.
Are you enjoying yourself? I mean, why are you giggling in the background?
I'm not giggling, sir.
Oh,
I think you're giggling. Maybe you're a homosexual.
Maybe I am. What, are you looking for a date tonight or something?
It figures.
Are you looking for a date tonight, Clem?
Why don't you go bang yourself in the corner, Mr. Lassiter?
Are you looking for a date tonight, Clem? Is that what your problem is?
No, sir. I wouldn't be looking for you.
Then
I'd
why
be looking for somebody from the opposite
sexual
sex.
orientation?
The opposite sex I'd be looking for.
Then why are you concerned about my sexual orientation?
Well, you're the one who's talking about playing with yourself and all that.
No, as a matter of fact, it was a good conservative woman who brought
I
it up.
heard you the other day saying someone was playing with themselves in the background, and you were getting high off of it.
Really?
Yes, I sure did.
Well, it seems to have made quite a lasting effect on you.
Oh, it sure did. That's the only you're the only radio personality who's ever done that.
Who's ever done what?
Who played with herself on the air.
Well, first of all, I'm not a her, and I didn't play with myself on the air.
Well, you certainly did. You certainly did. You and the other guy played with yourselves on the air. And it's an appalling thing that you're appealing to the Tampa people to do this. It really is.
I'm appealing to what? Would you like to join me or something?
No, sir. I'm sticking with the opposite sex.
You're sticking with the opposite sex.
You can go ahead and carry on with your craziness, talking about penises. You and Ted Webb probably play with each other after your show is over.
What, you get a little nervous when people talk about penises?
No, I certainly don't.
Well, if you don't
I get nervous when they talk about sticking it in other men's you-know-what.
Why do you get nervous about that?
Because you people are out of society.
What do you mean you people are out of society?
You're not in the norm.
People?
You're not in the norm, Bob. You're not in the norm, period.
Well, why do you listen to it?
I just heard you from someone I knew. He said how stupid you were.
Oh, so you've not even heard any of these things yourself.
I wanted to hear for myself how stupid you really are. Well, you're not stupid. You're an intelligent fool.
I'm an intelligent fool.
That's right.
Oh. Is that about it, or was there more?
Oh, what do you got to say, Bob? Defend yourself. You're sleazy and everything else. That's why you've been bounced from radio station to radio station all over America.
That's not exactly true.
No?
No. Sorry.
Oh, yeah? I bet.
How much would you like to bet?
$5.
Bring it down and leave it with a receptionist.
Give me your address, Mr. Lassiter.
801 Jackson Street.
Okay, give me your employment history. What radio stations have you been at?
What radio stations have I been at?
Yeah.
Well, in a 17-year career, I have been at WESP in St. Thomas and the Virgin Islands, WOWI in Norfolk, Virginia, WOUR in Utica, New York, back to WOWI in Norfolk, WEZR in Richmond, WJOI in Pittsburgh, WKQS in Miami.
There we go.
WINZ in Miami, WPLP in Tampa, and WFLA.
And I would collect my $5, wouldn't I?
Well, no, you wouldn't, because first of all, because first of all, it's only the East Coast, not all over America, so you would lose on that point.
not over America. Oh, did I?
And secondly, in a 17-year career, that is not an unusually high number of stations.
Oh, it's not?
Yes, it is not. And on top of that, I've never been fired from any of it.
No, I didn't say you were fired.
WINZ, I did get fired at INZ. I take that back.
All right, so you weren't fired, but you had to leave because of the...
No, I didn't have to leave. As a matter of fact, as a matter of fact, Clem, I was hired away from almost all of those stations.
Because you were so good. You wanted to look radio stations up?
I have never...
Be controversial, right, Bob?
I have never sent out a tape or a resume in my entire life.
They've all come to you, huh?
Most of them have, yeah.
You're so great. You and Joe Redner and all the gang. I just wish you all the best of luck in...
I don't know Joe Redner.
Well,
never spoken with him. As a matter of fact, he has asked to be on my show, and I have flatly refused.
You flatly refused?
Flatly refused, yeah.
Well, that's too bad.
No, it's not too bad. I didn't want him on.
Why?
I had nothing to talk to him about.
Why? He's got everything going for him.
Well, then why don't you go talk to him?
Why should I talk to him?
I have this inferiority complex.
Since I first talked to you.
Oh, this isn't your first call, then. You lied about that, too.
No, this is my first call to you, Mr. Lassiter.
Uh-huh.
I've never called to you before.
Uh-huh.
But I'll give you credit for
kind of a stupid thing to
having me on this long. I thought you would hung up by now.
Oh, I love jerks on the other end of the line.
You probably would love to hang up on me right now, wouldn't you?
I'd love to hang up on my dear young friend. I hang up on people whenever the hell I feel like it.
Okay.
But jerks like you are just great for the show.
Oh, yes, and likewise, I'm sure.
Why most people listen is hoping against hope to hear someone like you.
Well, maybe I made everybody's day out there, huh?
I doubt that very much.
You think I made everybody's day by talking some sense to you?
Talking sense to me?
Yes. That you fit right in with Tampa.
When will you have the $5 bill at the receptionist desk?
Well, Mr. Lassiter, you just listed a lot of stations to me. I said you were bounced from station to station.
All over America. No, I have not been bounced from station to station.
You listed me 18 radio stations.
No, I didn't. I believe I listed 10.
10? All right, 10.
Uh-huh.
You listed me, that's enough. That's over 5. And you expect me to give you $5?
Well, yes, you made a bet that
I did, but I think I won the bet.
Radio stations all over America, and I have not been bounced from radio stations all over America. I've been bounced from one radio station.
Okay. What I meant by bounce is you left.
No, that's not what you meant at all.
Yes, sir, you left.
No, that's not what you meant at all.
Well, I don't know what happened.
See, at least I'm honest,
you might be lying to me about it. You might have been fired and you said you quit.
I mean, A, I'm honest, and B, I'm not obsessed with homosexuality as you obviously are.
No, you are. You're obsessed with that. You don't hear other radio personalities talking about it.
Well, maybe they're kind of like you.
You hear about them talking about the other thing.
Maybe they're kind of like you, Clem.
No, they're not like me.
You're afraid that they might actually be homosexuals themselves, latent.
Oh, Clem, I think you're turning this around.
You see people, Clem, who are secure with their own sexuality, don't worry about other people's sexuality.
I'm not worrying about it. I'm just saying, don't inflict your
come on, Clem, you're obviously very concerned about my sexuality.
Bob, don't give us your will over the airwaves. That's all I got to say.
I'll give you whatever I want over the airwaves. And that's all I have to say, Clem. Bye-bye.
Hey, let's go to Tim on a payphone. Tim, you're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Hello, Lassiter.
Yes, Tim.
This is Tim calling. I was listening to your show tonight, and you have some pretty good points. I'd like to say two things, though. Number one, it really astonishes me, and it doesn't surprise me that no one can give you a call and explain to you why Satan does exist. And it's really I guess it really tells you where our people are today who are Christians who say they love the Lord when they have no clue even how to explain it to you. Let me ask you a question, okay? You there?
Yeah, I'll be here till 10.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Do you believe in Jesus?
No, sir.
No, sir?
No, sir.
You don't believe he existed?
I've already answered you.
Okay, what about, all right, most people who are even in Europe who believe that Satan does not exist or believe that there wasn't a God believe in Jesus. Most people do. Because Jesus has been recorded throughout time. I mean, if you even look in the history books...
Which history books, sir?
There is a Jesus.
Which history books, sir?
What?
Which history books?
Even the secular history books.
No, I'm sorry, sir. There is one mention of Jesus and Josephus. It is an obvious forgery. It is considered to be a forgery. It comes in the middle of something else. There's nothing before it, nothing after it makes any sense. There's no historical mention in history books of Jesus, sir.
You don't believe in Jesus whatsoever. Whatsoever. You do not believe in him. I mean, you don't even believe he was a person who existed? You've got to give me that benefit of the doubt.
No, I don't have to give you any benefit of the doubt. There is no historical reference whatsoever outside of a self-serving book called the Bible.
Let me ask you. No, there is.
There isn't, sir.
In the Book of Mormon, in the Book of the Quran, the Muhammad.
Sir, the Book of Mormon is not a historical book. The Quran is not a historical book.
The Muslims, and you ask if the Quran is an historical book. You even look in the Satanic Bible, and Jesus exists. Okay.
Sir, the only people that believe in Satan are people that believe in Christianity.
No.
I'm sorry, sir. It's the only point of reference for the devil, for God's sake.
I still don't believe you say that you do not believe that Jesus ever walked this earth, even as a man, 100% man, or what have you. I mean, that fathoms me to hear someone someone of your intelligence say that Jesus never existed. I mean, I've been speaking with people, atheists. I've been speaking with people who are well educated in this verse, in this manner, and they all say Jesus exists. Whether he's the Son of God or not is yet to be determined. Okay, but let's just say if Jesus existed, all right? Let's just say that there was a man called Jesus. Do you believe he was a good man, or do you believe he was a lunatic?
Why don't we talk about Bugs Bunny?
What?
Why don't you ask me if I think that Bugs Bunny, if he existed, was good or bad?
Well, I mean, Bugs Bunny existed.
There is no reason for me to believe that a historical character named Jesus of Nazareth, whether the Son of God or not, ever existed. There is no reason for me to believe that he did.
No reason for you to... If you look in the history books, I'm talking about the original history books.
Sir, there are no original history books, for God's sake.
I'm not talking about the history books that were written in America. I'm talking about the original history.
Sir, there are no original history books.
Let me ask you a question then. Where does BC and AD come from? BC is before Christ, AD is in the year of our Lord. Why in the world does everyone believe in AD and BC?
Sir?
The world believes in it.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Sir, there are large portions of the world that have a different calendar.
What year are we living in?
What part of the world would you...
1996 AD.
They are not in Beijing, China, sir.
Even the Chinese...
No, they don't, sir. They have their own goddamn calendar.
They believe in Hindu, but they believe that Jesus existed. And he did exist. As a man, he did exist.
Oh, Jesus, God.
And let me ask you a question. You go back and you look in Rome when Herod had that decree of Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. Then you look at Herod trying to wipe out all the babies. Jesus did exist.
Sir.
I mean, you look
sir,
at it,
and you look at it. There is no other reference to that except in the Bible, sir.
Lassiter.
Yeah, I know. Read the original history books that don't exist.
It is recorded in Israel's history that there was a king called Herod and that there was a man called Jesus.
Sir, there well may have been a king called Herod, sir. That does not prove that there was a Jesus.
No, you look at Pilate and you look at the crucifixion.
Sir, did you ever hear The Great Gatsby?
No, can I ask you a question?
Did you ever hear of The Great Gatsby? Well, you know, if you read The Great Gatsby, there's talk about Little Egg Harbor and Big Egg Harbor.
Yes.
They actually exist.
Okay.
Does that mean The Great Gatsby existed?
No.
That's right, sir.
I'm picking up bush vibrations. He's the best guy to lead this nation. I'm picking up bush vibrations. He's the best guy to lead this nation. He's the best guy to lead. Louder!
Right, our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. For thine is the kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. One nation, under God, liberty, justice for all.
It's Friday, and some people were confused. But by Monday or Tuesday, they'll be clear-headed again.
Come on, shake your body, baby, do that conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer. Come on, shake your body, baby, do that conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer.
I don't give a damn what you like or what you don't like. You're obviously a jerk.
So unfortunately, we have to listen to your stuff. You know, we had cable.
No, sir. You could read a book if you know how to read. You could talk to your wife if she wasn't so damned ugly.
Come shake your body, baby, do that conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer. Feel the rhythm of the music getting stronger. Don't you fight it till you try to do that conga beat.
John, why don't you just admit it? I got you by the balls, John. And I'm squeezing them, baby. And you're a hypocrite.
No.
Now get off my phone, you miserable subhuman pig. Get off of my phone, you un-American pig. Is it because of your small penis? Is that the problem? Are you afraid of the girls pointing at it and laughing? Or is your inability to maintain an erection?
You're a wee-wee.
How can I respond to that, Michael? Oh, I'm a wee-wee.
You can't, can you? Yeah, Bob, Ron plays music by...
I taught my daughter to do an imitation, Jack Ellery. What do you think?
Why don't you teach her to ask trivia questions, too?
Ay, caramba.
Well, I really think if you're so interested in fairness for everybody having a good job, what gives you the right to try...
Get off my phone, you miserable slut.
No, I don't think so. I think what you're...
Sir!
propaganda.
Sir! I am... You are gone. Don't you dare accuse me of lying. You can accuse me of being incorrect, but don't you dare accuse me of lying, you stupid jerk. Kill! 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 Come on, sir. Kill! Kill! Kill!
I'm not saying kill. I didn't say that. I said be business.
Weenie, the caller is a weenie. Seminole Heights. I mean, give me a break. Talk about losers.
Why don't you come over here?
What do you mean, why don't I come over there?
Yeah.
Oh, now you want to punch me in the nose, right? You want to punch me in the nose, huh? Because you don't like what I say? Aww.
Come on, shake your body, baby, do that conga.
You're on there, WPLP.
Really, complete asshole.
Oh, why is that?
Well, you don't have to ask me why I listen to your machine, your radio station. I don't listen to it, okay?
Oh, I see.
No, I don't.
So if you don't listen to it, then how do you know?
Well, I'm going to tell you how I know.
Uh-huh.
I might call if I'm during a commercial or watching a ball game, which I don't have to have the volume on to call to see how obnoxious you're getting.
Uh-huh.
And it really, really aggravates me that somebody with your sense of ignorance could sit there on the phone and intimidate old people.
With my sense of ignorance. That's an interesting phrase.
Like I said, maybe
I've never heard those two words put together before.
But how you can intimidate old people, young people, disabled people, doesn't matter what they
Disabled people?
Pardon me?
Disabled people, that's interesting.
Well, you said it, not me.
Oh.
Whether they're black, white, or green, if you don't like the way they think or the way they talk, you push your little button. You remind me of a couple guys I went to school with, you know.
Must be an awful lot of commercials on that station you're watching.
And go home.
I said there must be an awful lot of commercials on that station that you're watching.
Not too many.
Oh, really? You seem to have a very intimate knowledge of the program.
No, not
For
too
someone
many.
that doesn't listen except during commercials.
No, not too many. But
I see.
anyway, I just, I want to call you, and I just want to tell you. And like I said, believe me, I wish, I know one thing. I wish the other people would boycott your commercials, your products. I don't buy Miracle Ice anymore, and I used to. There's a lot of things I will not patronize Sears because of you. There's a lot of things I won't do because of Bob Lassiter.
Well, it seems to me the people from Miracle Ice and Sears should be thrilled.
I think you're a complete rectal mouth, and I think that something should be done to get people like you off the air.
Could I make a suggestion to you?
No, you can't make a suggestion.
I'd be delighted to. Why don't you watch these programs to be the way you want them to be? That's why you keep trying to talk over me, and it doesn't work because I talk over you. It's the way the thing is set up electronically. I thought you wanted to ask questions, sir. A man that wants to ask questions is normally interested in hearing answers, aren't they? But you're not interested in hearing answers. You're just interested in making things up.
You cannot accept it. You were talking
What can't I accept, sir? Nobody heard you.
And somebody asked you if your mother believed in God, and you says that on her deathbed she told you yes, but she lied to you then too.
No, sir, that's not what I said at all. I said she told me no.
Well,
No, it isn't, sir.
Reiterate what
she told me no. She told her sisters yes.
She told you no?
Yes.
And she told her sisters yes.
That's correct, sir.
Did your mother lie to you or to her sister?
I have no way of knowing. Unfortunately, she's dead.
You also made the remark that you could care less, too. I don't know, maybe that yellow strip went up the front along with the back. But what have you contributed? Can you say one thing?
What would you like me to have contributed, sir? What do you consider a contribution?
What have you?
Well, tell me what you consider to be a contribution, sir.
Organizations where they could have used somebody for whether it's a Big Brother organization.
Yes, sir, I've been affiliated with the Big Brothers in the past.
Whether it was a...
I said, sir,
What have you contributed?
Sir, if you'll shut up your big fat mouth, I'd be delighted to answer.
I'll let you talk, but
I see you don't want answers.
I will not shut up.
Because you don't want to hear the answers, that's why.
Go ahead. Answer.
Well, I said, yes, I've been affiliated with the Big Brothers. I've been affiliated with the Little League. I've been affiliated with community theater. I've been affiliated with the Boy Scouts.
Here in this area?
No, sir, not recently, no.
Why not in this area?
Because I haven't felt like it, sir.
You haven't felt like it?
That's right.
You've said many times that
I work in the evening, sir. I work in the evening, don't I?
You work in the evening? I work in the evening, too.
Oh, interesting.
I work in the daytime, too.
Great. Glad to hear it, sir.
You've made a comment many times that you don't like this area. Maybe that's why you haven't been a contributing factor.
Maybe it is.
Why are you here?
Because I am, sir.
Why?
Everybody's got to be someplace.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think the majority of people, let me ask you a question and be honest. Do you think the majority of people that listen to your show, would prefer to have you on the air or prefer to have you off?
Well, I would assume, sir, they would prefer to have me on.
Well, I challenge...
Or else they must be idiots.
I challenge you to have a poll, not only one night, because you're going to need both. 2 nights, you can separate them in a week so people can talk. To see how many people would want Bob Lassiter kept on the air and how many people would want Bob Lassiter off the air. I challenge you to that.
Oh, my goodness, you do?
Yes, I do.
Oh, my.
Yes, I do. I challenge you to that.
Is that about it, or do you have more?
Oh, I've got a lot reneging on something then. A minute ago you said you might do that tomorrow, but now you're...
Well, that's not reneging, sir. It was a thought. I might do it tomorrow.
Called Pryor, a 73-year-old veteran who gave 2, 3, 1, 4 years of his life defending this country. You decided to whistle while he was talking.
That's right.
Wasn't that nice?
No, it was clever.
Was it? You think it was?
I beg your pardon, sir.
Tell us where you're from.
I beg your pardon, sir.
Where you're going.
I beg your pardon, sir.
Yeah, you beg. Go ahead. You beg. You have it.
Well, that was a very interesting comment.
What was that? I made
About my
several.
father.
I made several.
About my father, sir.
That's right. I said you don't know where your father is.
That's right.
So you don't even know who you are.
Oh, don't I?
Obviously not.
I see.
Tell us, who are you?
I'm me.
Who are you? Who are you?
A man with convictions, sir.
Convictions?
Uh-huh.
Somebody doesn't like your convictions, they are no good, right? They are terrible people because they don't believe what Bob Lassiter believes, do they?
Oh, sir.
Let's go to Jordan in Tampa. There we go. Hi, Jordan. You're on the air 970 WFLA.
How's that pizza?
I haven't gotten a chance to eat it yet, but I'm sure it's fine.
Cool.
Just literally arrived right as we're coming back on.
About the liberal thing.
Yeah?
I usually tilt to the right because I am a hardcore conservative, you know?
Uh-huh.
But I know some pretty hardcore liberals, like my sister. She's a member of NOW and all that liberal stuff.
Uh-huh.
I personally despise the Democratic whole motto, tax, tax, spend, spend.
Oh, you prefer spend, spend, borrow, borrow. I see. Okay.
Well,
you know, it's really astonishing. You should be very happy then with Mr. Clinton since he has drastically reduced the deficit, requiring much less borrowing.
Except that he wouldn't have done any of that without Republican Congress.
Oh, really? Whole thing started when he first got into office, you know?
He didn't want to pass any of the tax cuts if it wasn't for Republicans. He didn't
pass any tax cuts, sir. He didn't pass any tax cuts. Remember when Mr. Dole's running around saying that he passed the largest tax increase?
He has.
Well, make up your mind.
Well, he didn't
you want to give the Republican Congress the credit for Clinton's tax cuts. You don't even know what the hell he did with taxes.
Well,
yeah.
He increased taxes.
Well, I thought he cut them with the Republican Congress, remember? Just a few minutes ago.
Well.
You see, you're just the typical, the absolute typical talk radio conservative. You don't even know what in the hell you're talking about, but you heard somebody on the radio say something, and you just picked it right up and ran with it, and you don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, you don't think that the Democrats like to increase taxes as a solution to any problem?
Give me an example, sir.
Well, I don't know of any examples.
I know you don't know of any examples, but you just heard somebody say, Democrats tax and spend, and without even thinking about it, and then foolishly calling up this show and trying to repeat it, not suspecting that you're going to be asked for an example. I mean, come on, dude, you're everything I'm talking about. Everything I'm talking about.
Well, do you agree that they think that that's the solution?
No, I don't agree that they think that's the solution.
So what do you think the Democrats think the solution is?
I don't know, and I don't care. I don't speak for the Democrats.
So who do you speak for?
Nobody. Me.
So what would you agree with as the solution?
So what's the problem?
The deficit, the problem, the social
Deficit's real easy. Cut spending, raise taxes, or do both. Which do you want?
I want to do both, actually.
Great. Now what do you want to cut in the way of spending?
Welfare, federal...
No, we're not going to cut welfare because, first of all, it's only 7% of the damn budget. You want to cut spending? Let's start with something that affects you. Then we'll cut somebody else's spending. So what do you want to cut that affects you?
Well, to cut spending, everybody has...
What do you want to cut that affects you?
Anything.
Like what?
Like, well, I'm in high school, so I can take federally run education out of it.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
What's federally run education?
Like the Department of Education in Washington.
Yeah, what do they do?
Nothing.
Really? You don't know what they do you? You have no idea.
They're useless.
They're useless. How much is the budget?
It's plenty. It's more
Well, don't tell me it's plenty. How much is it?
It's,
You have no idea, do you?
Well, what's the difference?
The difference is you don't know what you're talking about. You're a parrot. You heard you were sitting there in your cage, and somebody came up to you and said, Jordan, want a cracker? Repeat after me. You don't even know what you're talking about. You're just speaking these grand phrases that don't mean anything, that don't say anything.
Oh, yeah, I know somebody who's a liberal. My sister, who I guess also is still in high school. You're not a conservative. You're a kid. You're a child. Don't tell me you're a conservative. And don't tell me about your sister, the wild liberal. She's a child, too.
Yeah, well. Well, so what would you agree is the solution, then?
What's the problem?
You don't see any problems in America?
Yeah, it's full of problems. Just tell me which one you want. You know, there's no one solution for 700,000 problems.
Government. Big government.
What is the problem with big government? Give me a specific.
There's, the tax...
First of all, there's a very serious problem in Tampa with education and teaching the children in high school how to communicate their thoughts.
Well, yeah.
That's the first problem we should work on.
Yeah, well, you're not going to solve it with federally run education.
Sir, did I ever suggest that you could?
No.
Who has?
Nobody. I'm not.
No, that's right, sir. Nobody has.
I'm not persecuting you. Well, why do you automatically take the defensive?
Because I can't stand stupidity. Did you ever think about God? No, I'm serious. Do you ever really and truly think about God? Just, what do you think he does? What does God do? Did you ever think about that? You know, he's got all day sitting around up there in heaven, you know, people worshiping him, and, you know, cherubs playing harps and that kind of stuff. But what does he do to, you know, to pass the time? Think he, you know, collects stamps or bowls, or he's got to do something to pass the time, would you think? Just what is he responsible for? He can't be responsible for everything. You know that he wouldn't have let a plane full of 230 people blow up if he had anything to do with stopping it, don't you? You know that. You know that. Just what in the hell does he control? And what doesn't he control? Well, if he doesn't control planes getting blown out of the sky by idiots and morons, taking 230 innocent lives, bam, affecting millions of people, many thousands directly. If he has no control over that, if he has no responsibility over things like that, then what does he have? What does he have control over? Designing snowflakes like my mother told me? Oh, damn, I was so busy designing snowflakes, they blew up a plane while I wasn't watching. Damned. I gotta watch it. Hey, Gabriel, let me know when they're gonna blow up planes, huh? What is he responsible for? What does he have control over? What doesn't he have control over? And why would you offer up prayers for something like that? Why would you offer up prayers for the dead? I mean, if everything I've been told is true, if everything that you tell me you believe, when you dead, you be dead. And if you was a good boy, you be up there with, God in heaven. And if you was a bad boy, you be down there in the lake of fire. Ow! 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 Ooh, this is hot. Ouch! Ouch! God, it smells like sulfur down here. Can I have a glass of water? And you know that all the prayers in the world after that wouldn't help or change anything, would it? We think he's going to get a better seat in heaven? It's all kind of stupid doing that kind of stuff, isn't it? It's incredibly stupid doing that kind of stuff. You want to know something's going to shock you? Oh, maybe you better sit down for this one. Or if you have a weak heart, maybe you better run over and turn the radio off real quick. Because I'm about to make a confession to you. I don't pray. Not at all. Haven't prayed since I was old enough to be able to figure out what in the hell it was really all about. You know why I don't pray? You think it's because I don't believe in God? You think it's because I'm an atheist? Oh, you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. I don't pray because I don't want to put God in a bad spot. You know? Because it's painfully obvious that there are a lot of things that he has no control over, and there are a lot of things he just can't do anything about, because I know that he would if he could. You know, like curing cancer, ending war, eliminating poverty and disease, that kind of stuff. I know he would do something about it if he could. And if I was going to take my time and pray
If I was going to petition God for a change, then I would petition God for something that mattered. Oh, God, please let me get laid Saturday night. Oh, God, please let me score a touchdown at the big game. Oh, God, please let me have a better car. No, I'm not going to bother God with that kind of stuff. I would bother God with serious things. Things that mattered, things that would make it a better world to live in, and then consequently make my life better as a result. Because my life would be better if cancer went away, and my life would be better if poverty were eliminated and wars ended and all that kind of good stuff. And I think if I prayed for those kinds of things, knowing full well that there really wasn't anything God could do about it, I think he'd probably feel bad, you know? Not being able to answer them. Him sitting up there on the throne. Cherubs playing the harps. Me down here thinking that he's almighty and all-powerful. Asking him to intervene and stop a war or make people better or, you know, whatever it might be. And he's sitting up there saying, dude, you don't understand. I just can't... There's nothing I can do about it, dude. There's nothing I can do about it. Here, let me help you find some wreckage instead. Yeah, I think he'd feel really bad about that. So I never put him in that position. And I would never ask him to let me score a touchdown. Either in football or with a chick. I'd never ask him for stupid things like that. I'd never ask him for a raise or whatever. You people do all the time, though, don't you? And you know what? You never ask him for the important things either. And do you know why? For the very same reason I don't. Because you know there's nothing he can do about it. That's why. That's why you don't ask for the important things. That's why you pray for good grades or that miserable boss will be transferred to Toledo. That's the kind of stuff you end up praying for. Or you end up praying for things that you know you'll never know the answer to. Like praying for the dead. Doesn't that bother you? It should. Keeps coming back to that thing that I talk about from time to time, that horrible, horrible phrase, the one that ought to make you just cringe every time you hear it coming over the radio. Intellectual honesty. One of the toughest things to life, or one of the toughest things to master in life, intellectual honesty. You see, intellectual honesty has nothing to do with my being honest with you. It has to do with my being honest with myself. It's relatively easy to lie to you. It's relatively easy to be honest with you. The consequences really aren't that severe. I don't ever have to see you again. I don't ever have to talk to you again. I mean, if you don't like the truth, hey, screw you. But when I'm dealing with myself, intellectual honesty, something I have to live with forever and ever and ever. And I also have to live with intellectual dishonesty forever and ever and ever. Torments me if I'm not honest with myself. Doesn't it torment you? When you're not honest with yourself? And what the hell do you do it for? What in the hell do you do it for? That's why I don't pray. What's your excuse?
Clearwater, you're on the air.
Can I tell you about how God answered a prayer for me?
Sure.
Sure. In October 1925, in October 1985, watching Channel 22 during their October telethon, I called in one evening on the 25th of October, 1985, and pledged by faith, because I didn't have any money, $1,000.
Right, I know I've heard the story a dozen times from you, and lo and behold, you thought you won a Corvette from Q105. You didn't win a Corvette from Q105, so they offered you $1,000 instead, and you sent the $1,000 to Channel 22.
No, that's totally wrong.
Oh.
Must be have me mixed up with somebody else. But anyway, within a month, the next month, which was November of '85, I won not 900, not 100, but I won $1,000 from WWBA. Now, you might say, well, that was totally, a coincidence.
That's right.
I'll tell you another occasion.
No. You proved to me how that was God answering prayer.
How do I prove that?
Yes.
Well?
How do you prove that?
I can only believe by faith.
Oh, I see. You can believe, but you can't prove.
No,
you can think. You can hope that it was God answering a prayer, but you can't prove it.
Well, I can give you other examples.
Sure you can. But you can't prove any of them.
This was an act of faith on my part that didn't have anything to do with prayer, but it was by faith that another thing happened to me. I wrote a letter back in 81, to the PTL Club for a Bible. They said if anyone would like a Bible, please write in and you can have one free. So I wrote a letter, believe it or not, to the PTL Club asking for a free Bible. And then I reread the letter, and I thought it was sort of corny, it sounded sort of stupid. So I put the letter away in my drawer, and a few days later, it might have been a week later, I got a call from a friend who used to work with my mother at this dental office. And we got to talking, and I told her that I had written this letter and that I refused to mail it because it sounded so stupid. Well, she had a brand new PTL Bible, and she said she would be more than happy to mail it to me, and I have that Bible right now.
Isn't that miraculous?
But I have other things that happened to me.
And
did
you ever pray for a cure for cancer?
No, it was a miracle.
Doesn't surprise me.
It was a miracle. Not a healing, but it was a miracle in and of itself. About 23 years ago, I was operating my friend's motorcycle.
Fascinating stories. I can hear radios clicking off all over town. Go ahead.
Okay. It was about 23 years ago, during the summer, in northern Clearwater. I was driving my friend's motorcycle for the first time out on the open road. Usually he let me just drive around my neighborhood, but this time I'm out on the open road with him on the back, and we were in northern Clearwater, and I was following traffic, and I was supposed to make a sharp left, going about 35 miles an hour, and instead of making the sharp left, I panicked and went straight off the road towards a drainage ditch with a high embankment right behind that, and a fenced-in barbed wire pasture.
Great. Don't paint us a picture. Let's just get to the bottom line.
Okay, the bottom line is that we didn't wear helmets in those days. We just had Levi's on. And
perhaps that explains a lot.
And we hit this ditch doing about 35 miles an hour, maybe 30 miles an hour. And the motorcycle, I blacked out, and the motorcycle was laying straddled straight up and down on the handlebars and the rear seat, on the seat. I was running in third gear. My friend was on one side of the motorcycle, and I was on the other. We were both, somebody had picked us up and sat us down on our bottoms. Neither one of us had a scratch or a bruise.
Well, it's much more preferable to be sat down on your bottom than your top, I suppose.
Well, somebody sat us down on our bottom. Somebody took us off the motorcycle and sat us down in this little drainage ditch. And
Of course you were unconscious. You have no idea how you got into that position.
No, I was not unconscious at all.
Oh, strange. I could have sworn you said you were.
I said that
you had blacked out.
I blacked out. I did black out just for the...
Well, that's unconscious.
Before the accident ever happened. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying the motorcycle was straddled the ditch, was running in third gear. I looked through the center of the motorcycle. My friend was sitting, looking at me, and I was looking at him, and he had a little nick on his forehead. Other than that, we were perfectly healthy. A man ran over, I remember, in a 53 Chevy. He got out of his car, ran over there, and was asking us, if we were okay, and we just looked at him and said, we're okay. We picked up the motorcycle. The throttle cable was busted, and we drove home. And, you know, in 1960...
What a miracle.
In 1968 and 69, I was in Vietnam in a infantry company.
I'm afraid I don't have enough time to listen to your tales of woe.
Well, it's not a tale of woe.
Well, I've already gone 6 minutes with you.
Real.
I've already gone 6 minutes with you, and your proof of prayer is that somebody sent you a PTL Bible and that you won $1,000 from a radio station.
No, I guess I believe God saw my face in that, writing that letter for the PTL Bible, and he responded to my face. See, the Bible says...
Gee, it's too bad you didn't ask for a cure for cancer, you know what I mean?
Well, I might just do that.
Yeah, why don't you?
But see, without faith, it's impossible to please God.
Right. And it just never dawned... How old are you?
I'm 38.
38 years old, and it never dawned on you to ask God for a cure for cancer. You just asked God for, things like Bibles.
Well, when I first became a Christian, I was told that I should have my own Bible. Not to use my parents' Bible or a friend's Bible, but that I should have my own.
Well, that's certainly justification for not asking for a cure for cancer.
No, that's why I thought I should write, for the Bible. And lo and behold...
Well, it just seems to me that anybody with this lifetime of proof of how God answers prayer would start praying for things that mattered, that might do the rest of us some good, that might do humanity good.
Well, to a Christian, to have a Bible and to read it...
Yeah, I know is more important than a cure for cancer. I understand that. Clearwater, you're on the air at WPLP.
Hi, I'd like to say, though, that everything is pro-choice, not pro-choice. You have a choice, and if you choose God, fine. If you choose nothing, fine. If you choose Satan, that's fine, too.
Well, then, does God or does not... Does God... Shut up! Does God or does not God... Oh, I see. You couldn't take part in the conversation. What a pity. Couldn't take part in the conversation because you don't have a brain.
Now, why is this Bob Lassinger still on and something's happened to yours? But I don't like the Bob Lassinger at all. I turn him off. He makes me very angry.
Mr. Lassinger makes a lot of people unhappy.
I don't know why they allow it. I really don't. He sounds like a communist. He sounds like he's a devil advocate or something. Terrible.
Do you listen to him?
Well, after the President Reagan used to be on, about 5 minutes before, he'd have at noontime when Bob Lassinger used to come on at 12 noon.
Right.
And President Reagan was on with a talk, and so listen to the talk show before then, and President Reagan, and but I'd leave Bob Lassinger on.
What?
Are you there?
I'm here. I'm trying to...
I just couldn't believe my ears the way they allow that man to talk. Why aren't you on anymore? You're not the Bob Lassinger, are you?
No, I'm not Bob Lassinger.
No.
No. I don't know why he yells and screams at people.
But
it's just terrible, isn't it?
It seems like he should go to Russia.
Some of those... Russia?
You talk patriotic to that man, and he'll insult everyone. I heard him.
This is too good to be true. Betty, you want to know why TalkNet is gone?
Yes.
Okay, that's the program that had been here. Well, TalkNet is no longer on WFLA. See, that was just one program.
It's not. I really liked it. And it's good for shut-ins. And,
that's right.
Yes, and for everyone.
Are we rolling tape on this? You're kidding me. Oh. Okay, go ahead, Betty.
They listen to the people and don't insult them.
Right. And TalkNet never insults anyone.
No.
You're right, it is good for shut-ins.
Yes. All music, I guess.
Have you ever called that Mr. Lassinger man?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't like him. I don't like him because he's a communist. He talks bad. I don't know. He talks like a gay, too. I don't know.
You don't suppose.
I know. I've heard him talk to the gays, and he thinks they're great, and I presume that maybe he was one. I don't know.
Boy, a gay communist.
Why are you keeping me on so long? Usually you cut people off.
No, I never cut people off.
And my husband and I sometimes would turn off the TV and come in here and listen, and we enjoyed it.
Where do you comes in where, the bedroom?
Yes.
You listen to talk radio in the bedroom?
Yes.
Well, this has been one of the neatest calls I've had in a long time.
Uh-huh.
That Mr. Lassinger guy will still be on, too. You know what? I think he plays subliminal tapes on his program to tell people, you know, how to be communist.
But, well, did you think so, too? Oh,
and maybe he runs tapes telling people better red than dead.
Oh, really?
Hammer and sickle forever. God save Gorbachev.
Uh-huh.
I wonder if he does that.
I keep thinking it'll change. What?
No, I was just my producer was whispering in my ear. You're right.
I just kept thinking it would change, and it went on and on and on and on. And it would get worse and worse. And so I finally I couldn't take it, and I just turned it off because I didn't like it.
Well, I appreciate you pointing out that you think Mr. Lassinger might be gay.
I don't know. He just favors everything that they do and thinks it's wonderful. And
I bet he has a hammer and sickle flying in his garage, hanging up in the garage.
Uh-huh. Well, I do, too. But it's a free country, as you say. But sometimes I think it's getting too free.
And I'm glad you called tonight.
Uh-huh. All right, and thank you for listening.
You call any time you want to.
Uh-huh.
Please.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Betty.
Yes.
Bye-bye now. Do you believe that, Michael? Hey, Mike? Michael, where is he? Would you tell him to go in the news booth? Where is he? Hold on a second. Oh, I'll just go find him. Hey, Mike, it's 10 till. I need headlines. Did that bring him out? Is he in there yet, Travis? Oh, there he is. Finally decided to wander in, huh, Mike?
Yeah. Well,
did you hear Betty?
No.
You didn't hear Betty?
No.
Oh.
I was working for a living.
And Travis wasn't even rolling tape.
Oh, my gosh.
If I had tape, I just would have played that call over and over all night long.
It was that good, was it?
It was that good. Somebody would kill for calls like that.
In 37 the time, you guys still have no idea why this is happening, do you? It has completely escaped you, hasn't it? Ah, what a dumb audience. Tampa, hi, you're on the air, WPLP.
Big Bob.
Yes?
I understand I was banned some time back.
Well, that's true, Lionel. But the ban was lifted.
Oh. Remember the old expression, what if they gave a war and nobody came? What if they banned you and you never called anyway? But anyway,
But you did, Lionel.
No end.
You did, Lionel, let's be honest about it. You called several times after you were banned, and Michael shot you down.
Who's Michael?
You know who Michael is.
No, who is Michael?
My producer.
Lover?
Yes, he's also my lover, but he's my producer as well.
What was this about you and anal sex the other night?
I don't know anybody named anal sex.
No, that's near Pluto, I think. It's in Alpha Centauri. No.
I do know a guy named Pluto.
Well, Bob, how was...
But I've never had anal sex with him.
How was the wedding? Speaking of anal sex...
The wedding was great.
Did you get any?
A little bit, not much, but, enough. Enough.
That's tremendous.
At least, the cabin was nice, and
let me ask
scenery
you
was pretty.
What does it feel like now that, in the past couple of, 6 months, there's been an inordinate interest in talk show radio across the country? What with Howard Stern and Neil Rogers and those sort of things.
Uh-huh.
What does it feel like paling by comparison or in comparison to them?
Oh, Lionel, give me a break. Have you ever heard Howard Stern? I'm 10 times better than Stern.
On your most... let's talk about obscenities per hour. Some type of a... fixed ratio or something.
What do you mean obscenities per hour? Already this hour I've had... Wait a second. Already, you want to talk about obscenities per hour? Already this hour I've had Rocky on. I've had the Petition Man and you.
You act like these people have names. Rocky? Who is Rocky? I thought...
What do you mean, who is Rocky? Rocky is a star. Rocky is known throughout... Rocky has a higher name recognition than most of the talk show hosts in this community.
Especially at your station.
Oh, bull, at the other station, too.
You know what?
He calls Gonzalez, and Gonzalez goes gaga. Oh, it's one of Lassiter's callers calling me. Oh, finally, I've made it. I've made it. Hello, Rocky.
Who says that?
Gonzalez.
You are so jealous of Gonzalez that it's pathetic.
Well, that's true.
You give WFLA 970 AM more credit, more airtime, more advertising than they themselves do.
That's true.
Do you know what they do?
I'm very jealous of Paul.
Do you know what they do at POP? They ignore you people. They ignore you.
Well, no, sometimes they call us plop.
Or static...
but I call them radio fa-la-la.
Static 57.
Oh, yeah, that too.
But, Bob, we're acting like we're enemies, and we're not enemies.
Oh, no.
We're good friends, aren't we?
Yes, we are, Lionel.
When are you going to share your wife with me? If you're really as hip as you say.
Well, Lionel, I'm all for it, but Mary said no.
Little Mary Turner, she sounds so sweet.
Oh, she's
She's probably a dynamo. Have you ever walked in nude with a pair of chaps on and a martini glass and yelled, Lafayette, I've arrived?
Well,
try that.
Something close to that. Close enough.
Try that.
Close enough.
Bob, you know, this is a tremendous...
The other night I went home and she was there in the buff playing the accordion. I immediately...
Lady of Spain,
I immediately stripped off my clothes, jumped up on the dining room table.
Let's face it, Bob, when you take your clothes off...
I grabbed the plant that we have on the dining room table and I clutched it to my tender parts. Unfortunately, it was an aloe plant.
Now, Bob, you're walking all over me. You are a big guy.
Yes, I am.
A lot of people think that, they call you faggot, but they've never seen you before.
That's true.
You look like a big compost pile. You're huge.
Yes.
You're a behemoth.
Compost
You're
pile.
gargantuan. But is your wife, your bride, as large as you are?
Oh, grief. Now, you think I'd marry a porker like that?
Well, here's what I'm saying. Think against a missionary. You'll kill her. Honestly, that's the first thing I thought. This woman had better be tough. She'd better have a spine that... By the way, speaking of rectal polyps, when's Yoki coming back on your show?
When is Yoki? I don't think Yoki will ever do this show again.
Yoki doesn't even listen to your damn show.
Oh, sure he does. He wouldn't miss it.
He doesn't even listen. He hasn't a clue. Do you think...
Are you kidding? Yoki always listens. Yoki's listening to the show right now.
What?
I'll bet you a nickel Yoki's listening. Yoki, if you're listening, call the hotline, please.
Put me on with Yoki again. I want a piece of him. I want to break it off in him. You know that? Because he's responsible for things like Ask the Attorney, all this crap on the weekend.
Tim Williams is responsible for Ask the Attorney.
Who's responsible?
Tim Williams.
Now, you probably think that guy in Palm Bay was crazy.
The guy in Palm Bay was... Oh, the terrorist?
Yoki makes him look like Ayn Rand. You know what I mean? Yoki is responsible for some of the most abysmal programming. And who was the one who knocked Coles off until the weekend? Who thought of that? How dare you?
I think it was the receptionist.
How dare you take a man...
The receptionist makes out all of the schedules here.
Bob, why do you do that? You mumble in like...
It started one day, the phones were a little slow. Yoki came out and said, don't you have anything else to do? Here, work on this. And unfortunately, he threw the schedule down in front of her. And she started rearranging it.
That's what you told your wife, too. Work on this. Bob, why are you so hostile to me?
Hostile? I'm not hostile.
I could make you a star. Do you realize...
Whoa, Lionel. You could make me a star.
No, take that back. I could be a star.
Yes, you could if I'd let you on the show more often.
Oh,
well. The stars I have made in this town. There's Rocky, the rock and roll Klansman. There's Southside Johnny, the dope dealer. There's the Brandon Brain lady. I've made all of these people, Lionel. These were all obscure callers that other talk show hosts used to hang up on. But no, I saw the value in these callers.
Hang up or ban, right? Ban. Do you know what it is when a talk show host bans a caller? That means that's capitulation. That's giving in. That's no backbone. That's wimpism to the nth degree. That is faggotism. I was surprised by you when you did that. It was terrible because I didn't even know I was banned. But when I found out, I became incensed.
Oh, Lionel, you do know that you were banned.
Moi? I had to talk to Carolyn to find out what the hell's going on. Did you know that? I had to go out into the field, for crying out loud, to find out what the hell's going on.
What was Carolyn doing out in the field?
Waiting for you to come up on the horse. By the way, have you seen Shoah? Are you taping Shoah?
How the hell can I see Shoah? I work at night.
Taping, Putz. Read my lips. Taping. Are you taping the show?
No, I'm not taping the show.
Let me tell you, they made a big deal of
Mary sits at home at night when I'm working and watches XXX rated movies. I
with
can't
a large
tape.
black man named Lewis. Let me ask you something. You know, the show was heralded as being...
Well, wait a second. I've got to go back and correct something I just said. She does not sit home watching XXX rated movies. She sits home and watches Art Van Dam, how to play the accordion videotapes.
That's wonderful. Shoah. I watched a little bit of that. There was a scene with a Polish guy talking to a French person who translated Polish into French, and then you had to read the English subtitle. This is not a movie for dyslexics, let me tell you.
On the air, somebody brought in some platform shoes and some really tacky 1970s type clothes, and they tacked it up on the wall in the sales office. Well, I see that it has been taken down from the wall and is now been placed in that area where they put things for people to take, and it's still there.
Your radio, so that under her mind, she is a topic of discussion on your show constantly, and now she wants to be able to listen in and hear all these nasty, vicious things that people say about her.
Somebody really should put that woman in an institution. She's having more trouble than anybody I can imagine.
Like she could get up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Do you know what her schedule is?
Say the same thing.
She doesn't get home till midnight or later.
No, I think
goes to school.
I think she's going to listen to the Sunday broadcast because she asked me when you guys were replayed over again on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that 9 o'clock hour, if you could run in that one where I Love You, Randy, and, you know, the makeup song, I think that would be enough.
Agree or disagree?
I say put everything down.
Put everything down.
Everything down. Have you ever gone in the dark in the middle of the night and just the seats up and you just fall right in?
No, I haven't, Sharon.
Sailing,
Have you fallen in, Sharon?
The point is why can't you put the seat up?
That's right, and that way you would know that
What's
the seat
wrong
was
with
up
that?
and you wouldn't fall in.
Actually, anyone with pets knows better than to keep the lid up at anyway. You put the whole lid down, the cover and everything.
The animals like to either get in and drink the water, or they can fall in and drown.
How about closing the door? That'll keep the animals out.
Or just close the lid. It's not a big deal.
Oh, I can't help but feel as though I didn't make myself perfectly clear. Is that Gino from West Shore? And Captain Chronic? Blow both of them out. I'm sick and tired of hearing them all over this radio station. Yeah, I see that. And I'm really sick and tired. You know, yesterday it was 4 hours of begging and pleading with Neil, and 4 hours of begging and pleading with Rick and Suds, and 3 hours of begging and pleading with what's-her-face. No, guys, the weekend's over, you know? I'm going to do you a real favor and just blow them out. I'm going to do you a real favor and get rid of, the chronics there. And this is what we have left for you. Let's go to Clearwater. Hi, Clear. You're on the air at WSUN.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
My goodness. We don't like the way you're conducting yourself over the air.
Then why don't you take the radio and shove it up, your what?
Hey, you're getting a lot of complaints.
I'm getting a lot of complaints from who, ma'am?
You're going to.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So what would you suggest I do?
Well, watch your tongue.
Watch my tongue. I can't talk and watch my tongue, ma'am.
You know, older people don't like that one bit, and they're all complaining here around Clearwater.
Oh, well, that's all you've got there is older people, ma'am.
You better smarten up.
Yeah, or what? Or what, lady? What, did she die? Call 911. Trace the call. I'm sure she's dead. Her and all of her friends in Clearwater that don't like it one bit. Madam, like I said, take the radio, drop your drawers, put the radio on a stool or something, like maybe the kitchen chair, and sit on it. Real easy. Just sit on it, lady. If you don't like it, change it. And all the old people in Clearwater, all of my friends at Bingo and down there at Meals on Wheels, they don't like it. They don't like it. Well, what do you like, madam? What do you like? Can you tell me? Do you know? By the way, as we speak...
Clem.
I hate you.
Well, I'm not too fond of you either.
I'm turning to Larson now, so...
Yeah, well, the sound of your voice makes my stomach turn.
And they took away my radio because of you.
They ought to take away your radio. They probably took away your shoelaces and your belt, too, didn't they?
They, you aggravated me so much.
Sounds like they took away your teeth.
I'll never turn you on anymore.
You never turned me on, sir. I was faking all the while.
Stop invading my privacy. Get out of here.
Oh, okay. He never turned me on. Never. I always lied to him. Let's go to Clearwater. Hi, Clear. You're on the air at WSUN.
Get alive.
Oh, okay. It's 9:44.
Oh, yeah, I know what that's like.
No, you don't understand. They laid me off. I got one of these.
Yeah, I know how that feels.
You know what I'd like to do?
Yeah, I know what you'd like to do. You'd like to find the guy that did it. Rip his still beating heart out of his chest and hold it in front of his face so he can see how black it is before he dies.
Actually, I was thinking about filing agreements with the union.
You know, the really amusing thing is that most people in management would rather have their hearts ripped out and held in front of their faces than have that union thing there involved. Let's go to Bradenton. Hi, Bradenton. You're on the air at WSUN.
Bob.
Yeah.
When Neil comes up here, are you going to kiss his ass or are you going to call him Aunt Nell to his face?
I call him Aunt Nell to his face, sir.
No, I doubt it.
Well, I don't care if you doubt it or not, but I'm not in the least bit intimidated by Neil Rogers.
Oh, yes, you are.
No, I'm not. I'm pissed off quite frequently by him. Sometimes I'm even hurt by what he says, but I'm not in the least bit intimidated.
You sure you were? He took the show over last time he was up here.
I took his show over the last time?
He took your show over the last time he was up here.
I'll be damned. I didn't realize that.
You didn't realize you were sitting right next to him.
No, I wasn't sitting right next to him, sir.
You're an asshole. Go back to Iowa, wherever you came from. And by the way, I did say show, you asshole.
Okay, sir. Bye. WSUN. Things must be getting worse and worse with Chevy Chase. We'll get to that in a little while. Right.
St. Petersburg, welcome to WPLP.
Young man, let me tell you something right now. I come down here every year, and I've been coming down here for 24 years, and I in my entire life have never heard such an outrageous, outlandish person on a show.
Well, thank you.
You should be reported to the Chamber of Commerce or the FCC. I am going to write letters to the superiors.
Oh, sir, that's not necessary. Sir, that's not necessary. I have already received accommodations, or commendations, rather, from Chamber of Commerce.
I spent $800 to get down here. Alice is listening, and she is not very appreciative of what you've been doing here.
Who's not very appreciative? Who's not very appreciative?
She's very upset.
Who's upset, sir?
She's very upset.
Who is upset?
My wife is very upset, and so am I.
Well, why didn't she call?
I don't like this at all. You've got no business talking about us this way. We go to the vegetable markets almost every other day.
I'll bet you do.
I never squeeze fruit. I spent a lot of
How about vegetables, though?
I spent a lot of money down here. You have no right speaking of this in this matter. I had my car service here. I've had my car service here twice since I've been here.
I know, sir, and every time you come down here, about 40 of us have to have our cars serviced.
You've got no business talking about us in this manner. We are supporting you people. Don't you understand? If we quit coming down here, you'll be out of a job, sir. And I will report you, and I've heard about you before in the trailer parks. What's so funny about that, buddy?
You mean my fame has spread to the trailer parks?
What is so funny about living in a trailer park?
Nothing, sir.
I'm living in an Airstream right now, and I don't think it's very funny about the...
Wait a second. You come down here from where? Where was it, Iowa?
I've come all the way down here.
From Iowa?
Come all the way down
Dragging
here,
a trailer? Dragging a trailer? And you're not even staying in a motel. And you think you're supporting me?
I am supporting you and your service. You've got no...
Sir, there aren't any... Sir, there aren't any Airstream factories in Tampa Bay.
I fought for you. And I come back to this country, and what do I have to listen to? Some young hippie. Some young hippie such as yourself.
Well, sir, I can well understand why you would think that a 41-year-old man was a young hippie, but that's neither here nor there.
I bet you've got a convertible and a surfboard hanging out the back. I bet you do.
No, sir, it's a Woody with a surfboard hanging out the back.
Too.
On drugs?
Are you on drugs, sir? I bet you use marijuana and all this kind of stuff. I bet you live a very lifestyle.
What kind of a lifestyle?
a very loose lifestyle.
Very loose.
I'm listening to you every night, and you've got to remember this, that we might stay here.
Oh, my God! You might stay here?
I might report you. I'm going to report you to the
Trailer Park Association.
I'm going to write management a letter, and you won't like it. You'll be very afraid.
Sir, my name is Lassiter. That's Lassiter, care of the Lassiter Broadcasting Company.
You're in trouble now.
No, sir, I own the station.
You're in trouble now.
No, I own the place. My mother bought it.
And I've heard about the way you talk about our president, and I think it's a disgrace.
Why don't you write him a letter?
I've written him many letters.
Hasn't done you a damn bit of good, has it?
I don't like the way you talked about Jim and Tammy Faye Baker. Me and my wife stayed at the resort for 2 weeks, and we had a lovely and various enjoyment time.
Would you park your Airstream there, or just stay in a hotel room there?
We stayed in a hotel room
Figures.
there. And we're going to go back, and I will help support his ministry.
Great.
You have done a disservice.
Could you leave tonight?
God, I have never heard anyone lambaste the ministers and a nation such as this in my entire life, sir.
Well, you're lucky you've heard somebody do it now.
I'm going to write a letter to the manager. I'm going to write a letter to
Mrs. Lassiter, Lassiter. That's the manager's name, Mrs. Lassiter.
In the phone book.
That's right, it's in the phone book.
Now you're making me scream, and you're making me scream and holler.
That's one of the things I do best.
Sir, why do you carry on in this manner? This is a very, very outlandish and monstrous tactic you're using.
You got it.
This is not right. Why don't you help the old people? Why don't you help us?
Sir, I'd like to help you out. Which way did you come in?
Sir, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to write you a letter. And you will receive this letter. And you won't like it. I'm going to write more than one letter. I'm going to write the station. I'm going to write the Chamber of Commerce. I, too, will write the Chamber of Commerce, and the Chamber of Commerce will be flooded with letters.
Will you put a lot of kisses at the bottom?
I bet you have a surfboard, don't you? I bet you wear short cut-off jeans and sandals and beads and probably wear sunglasses all the time. And I bet you haven't shaved in 3 months.
It's closer to 3 years, sir.
Last time you had a shave?
About 3 years ago.
Are you married or are you living in sin?
Little of each.
You continue to outrage us.
Well, thank you.
You continue to tell the whole world, the whole public here, that you're living in sin, that's monstrous. I give 10% of pay to the PTL Club, and I will continue to write to PTL.
Oh, Jim's living in sin.
And I am going
to send me 10% too?
I am going to write a letter to the PTL Club and tell them what you've been saying about them. And you may hear from the PTL Club.
Sir, we've tried to get them on the show before. They won't come on.
You're in trouble now. You're in trouble now.
Well, sir, I guess I'll just have to wax up my board and go with the flow, you know?
I'm going to stay here. I'm going to call the police.
We're all in trouble now.
I'll call the police on you. I mean it. I'm serious.
Whoa there. You're going to call the police?
I'm threatening you now, sir. You've got me upset. I'll call the police. I swear I'll call the police. Do you want me to call the police on you? You think it's funny? I will call the police.
Do I think it's funny? Do I think it's funny? Are you kidding me?
Be afraid, aren't you?
Are you pulling my leg?
Sir, I'll lock you up. I'll have you locked up, sir. Look, you can't do this.
That's the greatest call I've ever had in my entire career.
You think that you're...
It's probably the greatest call ever to talk radio.
You think by laughing that you're showing me that you're not afraid. Because you're all afraid. I know it.
Oh, God.
I've got 5 letters to write, sir.
5 letters now. Oh, my goodness. You got a busy night ahead of you.
I'm going to start right now.
Okay.
Have a bad night. Hippie.
It's really none of your business, but B, I say it in ways all the time that just never seems to get through. So let me see if I can't spell it out for you tonight. Maybe we'll finish the show with this. I don't know. I don't know how long it's going to take me. I'm often asked, do you believe in God? To which I frequently respond, that all depends on what you mean by that. Which is probably it's probably not a good answer. And sometimes I'll say, no, I don't believe in your God. And people go, oh my God, he doesn't believe in God. Gonna rot in hell. Well, let me tell you why I don't believe in your God. Maybe you don't believe in your God. See, I have this nasty habit of thinking about things. And I don't always make the right decision. And I'm not the smartest guy on the face of the earth. And sometimes I'm, pretty naive, and sometimes I'm pretty damn silly, and sometimes pretty damn stupid. But I think about things. And I try my damnedest to understand why it is I feel the way I do. And sometimes I admit to I can't tell you. It's just the way I feel, man. There isn't any rhyme or reason behind this. It's just the way I feel. But that's not the case with God or the devil, by the way. You see, my God could never send an earthquake to punish people. My God could never send floods or illnesses or set one people against another because of some perceived insult. I mean, my God would never send people out to smite an entire nation and to take their worldly goods and their virgins and their camels and cows back with them. My God would never do that. God could never do that. God is not a monster. He couldn't possibly be. And yet, so often, the Judeo-Christian God is portrayed as such. Unacceptable to me. My God could never, ever, ever, ever create a being that could turn into Lucifer and allow that being to exist. He could never do that. My God could never vent evil and allow it to bring misery to people's lives. My God would never punish me eternally for uttering the wrong word. My God would never punish me for going to a nudist colony and laying out there in the buff under the sun. My God would never punish me eternally for masturbating. Or for falling in love with the wrong person at the wrong time. He would never do that. My God, however, would probably punish me forever for supporting a war that was ill-conceived, where millions upon millions of people are going to suffer. I think he'd punish me for doing that. I think he'd punish me for not trying to rectify the situation. And I think I would be deserving of that punishment. So when I say that I don't believe in your God, that's what I mean. It's not quite as bad as you might think on the surface. I've read the book. I'm aware of what it says. There's a lot of good in it. There's a lot of nonsense. And there's a lot that just isn't very good at all. Things that my God could never possibly do under any circumstances or conditions. I have no way of knowing if my God sits around in a white robe on a throne with, angels playing harps, and it doesn't really make any difference to me at this point in the game. I don't know if I will ever see my God. I don't know that I will ever know in this life or another life, because I don't know if there is another life. I do not find it the most bizarre concept to think that I was placed on this earth, or my ancestors were placed on this earth by a superior being, a supreme being. And I have no way of knowing whether there's one supreme being or a planet full of supreme beings that are in essence my God. But I wish you'd think about what I just said. How my God would never punish me eternally for saying the wrong word. But he might punish me eternally for messing up this world, bringing grief and aggravation to people and not trying to correct it. I frankly think my God's a hell of a lot nicer than yours, but I'm not going to try to sell you mine. And please be kind and don't try to sell me yours. And don't be so quick to to come down on me when I say, no, I'm sorry, I don't believe in your God. Okay?
I hate the black people for failing to take advantage of the opportunities that this country has offered them from their birth. For that you are like you act. I like that.
Well, then why do you listen to me?
Well, because it just shows you how boring sometimes an evening in Tampa is when you have to listen to something like you to hear entertainment.
Well, why don't you move to a more, hip city?
Well, I'd like to, my friend, believe me.
Well, why don't you?
A sorry state when the only decent...
Well, why don't you move to another city?
...is you, because there's no...
Why don't you move to another city? I mean, you had already told me what a great country this is.
It is a wonderful country.
Hasn't it been good enough to you to give you enough money to move?
I like where I live right now, my friend. I love where I live.
Wait a second. You were just complaining about where you live.
Oh, no, I'm not... You
seem to be a very confused man.
I'm complaining about you. And how boring you are and how hypocritical you are. If I've been confusing, let me correct myself.
Well, wait a second. I'm the hypocrite.
Oh, you...
How could I be the hypocrite if you're the one who sits there and listens to me and you say I'm boring? That sounds hypocritical to me.
Sometimes some of your callers...
Do you know what hypocritical means?
Some of your callers are sometimes...
Do you know what hypocritical means?
Yes, my friend, I know what hypocritical means.
Would you tell me what you think it means?
It is about a person who prides on calling himself a glutton of eating, who night after night complains about people starving in this country and how the president does not do enough to feed people, yet you brag about...
I don't believe I've ever said anybody's starving in this country.
You talk about being a fat glutton. I'm not going to...
No, I've never talked about being a glutton. I've talked about being fat, but I also don't believe I've ever mentioned starving people in this country.
Well, my friend, I'm not going to get into a play little game. I think...
No, we're not playing little games. This is deadly serious, you see. This is deadly serious, punk. This is deadly serious.
Clem, calm down, Clem.
See, we get so disturbed when people put words in our mouths. So disturbed. Tampa, you're on the air, WPLP.
Hi, Chinks. Slant eyes.
Only the stupid black people will respond.
Leave that crap for white people, Let them call. We just listen and laugh at them. That's what we're doing.
Except when you call. I guess he finally figured it out. Sir?
Because
Sir?
an Italian...
Sir? Sir?
Not a what?
Sir?
Yeah.
Did you ever see The Godfather?
Yeah, I saw The Godfather.
Good picture, wasn't it? Largo, you're on there at WPLP.
Robert, I haven't talked to you in so long I couldn't resist calling tonight.
Okay.
I was going to come on with some cock and bull line.
Well, I'm glad you didn't then. Dunedin, you're on there. Would know better than making such an inane, stupid statement.
It was built up, sir.
Really?
It was built back up bigger and better.
Marvelous, yeah. Yeah, make it up as you're going along. It's okay.
No, I'm not. I saw while reading the paper, my brother lives right there in the middle of the...
I said I wouldn't challenge your hate, but I will challenge your lies. Because Liberty City is one of the most vile, despicable places you'd ever want to see. Filled with burned-out buildings, sir.
I agree that it should be bettered, but not at the...
No, sir, we weren't talking about whether it should or shouldn't be bettered. It is filled with burned-out buildings. It was not built back bigger and better, sir.
But a lot of them were, sir.
Which ones?
The stores, the department stores, the...
Department stores in Liberty City?
Yes, sir.
Moz Brothers? Burdines? Jordan Marsh, perhaps?
I'm talking about the small...
There aren't any department stores in Liberty City, sir.
Small stores in the neighborhood.
Oh.
The demand was that they be built back up, and the government moved in and did build them back up.
Mm-hmm.
Same here in town.
No, they didn't, sir.
They used an excuse that every time a cop comes in to arrest a drug dealer after the riot here on 22nd and whatever it was, the cops come in to arrest a drug dealer.
Hi, Bob.
Hi.
I hate Jewish tacos.
Mm-hmm.
I realize that you guys are under the thumb of the...
Which Jewish tacos did you have in mind?
Well, most all tacos are Jewish. Of course, you don't have Jewish names. You switch over to non-Jewish names.
Mm-hmm.
But I do realize that you're all under the Jewish Women's League's domination.
The Jewish Women's League? I've never heard of that organization. Do you mean the B'nai B'rith?
Pardon?
Do you mean the B'nai B'rith?
I'm not familiar with that one.
Well, I'm not familiar with the Jewish Women's League.
They do march in...
Sure you don't mean the Junior Women's League?
The Jewish Women's League.
Ma'am, it's the Anti-Defamation League.
An question like that.
Not from.
Why did you ask an ignorant question like that?
Because I know that Americans emigrate to Israel, not from it.
You can't help it.
hadn't you thought of that? I guess you hadn't thought of it.
No, I guess you had.
That doesn't make any sense. But then neither do you.
Hatreds. But it's not that at all. This program is to show contempt. Your contempt for the people that are calling in.
Mm-hmm.
For the hatred and bias and prejudice and especially ignorance which they exhibit. The inarticulate, incoherent, can't put a three-word sentence together. And you're sort of displaying them for the whole world to hear. It's saying, these are your neighbors. These are apparently normal, decent people, and look at the things that they're saying. You're putting them on exhibition.
That's right.
That's right. You're like an animal trainer, putting his animals through their tricks. Maybe but they probably don't realize it. Well, anyway, have a nice day.
Yeah, it was an ugly show, really ugly. It took a little bit of arm twisting, very, very little arm twisting to get it going. There isn't changing anybody's mind with a program like this. And for most of the program, the board was the only thing that will keep me awake, and I will hope keep you awake, is that you don't know how many people listening tonight thought that it all made sense. I would also hope that you're a little bit sick to your stomach. I'm also quite sure that you've sat glued to the radio to listen to it. It's kind of like passing by a traffic accident. It's ugly. It hurts. But you got to look at it. 10 minutes after the hour of 12 noon, Monday, October the 19th, 1987. The guest's name is David Caton. You may remember him from the National Federation for Decency. Mr. Caton, you would be, I suppose, the self-appointed guardian of the community's morals?
I don't see it as being self-appointed.
Who's your next target, by the way?
We don't really have targets.
Well, who will you next be picketing?
We will probably be picketing the Starvin' Marvin chain.
Starvin' Marvin, what's his problem?
Well, he sells the Hustler, Penthouse, Playboy. Do you have children?
No, I don't.
I think you might have,
well, don't presuppose anything. Don't presuppose anything for me, Mr. Caton.
Sure.
It is, of course, a practice of the National Federation for Decency to give out addresses and phone numbers for people to call or write, correct?
Correct.
Having people's business lines tied up, having people harassed. Well, what would you think about people who disagreed with you turning the tables on you?
To be quite frank, they would have to abide by the same rules that we deal with.
Like giving out 800 phone numbers so that it actually even costs the people that you're harassing money?
Why? Well, would you feel that it would be an effective incentive to ask somebody to put it on their dime when they can put it on the company that's doing the injury to the community's dime?
Well, I'll tell you what, Mr. Caton, I'm going to give you the break of a lifetime. The absolute break of a lifetime. You can tell me right here and right now that you will stop this practice and stop it immediately, or I'm going to give out your work number. So the people who disagree with you can exercise the same right that your membership exercises.
There's a difference between what you would be doing and what we're doing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How's that?
Well, my work number is not the legally prudent number to give out. They can reach me at the NFD, phone number. You don't seem to understand that NFD and the business I work for have absolutely nothing to do with each other.
Well, that's not my problem.
It will be if you give out my number.
Oh, really? What are you going to do about it?
We'll see.
We'll see? Is that a threat of some kind?
No, it's not. It's just a
you've made threats against me before, Mr. Caton. Is this another threat?
No, it's not a threat.
I mean, you have threatened to boycott my sponsors. You've threatened to boycott my station.
We never threatened to boycott your sponsors.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Caton. Off the air, yes, you did.
I'd like you to produce something to back that up.
How about the man that heard the... Would you care to talk to the man who you actually made that threat to when you were in a blind rage because I wouldn't let you on the air?
I'm not following you.
I see. Mr. Caton, I'm starting to run out of time for this hour. Would you be able to stay with me in the second hour? Quite a number of people would like to speak with you.
I would like to, but that goes into off my lunch hour and into company time.
Mr. Lassiter?
Yes, Jacob.
You cannot give out that phone number.
Sure I can.
No, you can't.
Sure I can.
It's a private business.
Yeah, I know it's a private business, but it's a business that allows Mr. Caton to accept pro-NFD phone calls there, so I don't see what the problem would be with having him accept anti-NFD calls there. I mean, if you can accept calls in favor of the NFD, then why can't you accept calls there opposed to it?
I don't think you're going to give that out. I think you know.
Sure I will. It's 7007. That's the number. Now the exchange is coming up soon.
I think you're just doing, you can't give that out.
228-7007. So there, how about that, Jacob? 228-7007. There's the number.
Well, I haven't confirmed that.
Call it.
And another thing, I think the NFD is a good organization.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they should picket WFLA.
Hope they do.
For you describing homosexual sex acts.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't believe it. I was revolted. You've reached a new amoralistic low, Mr. Lassiter.
Mm-hmm.
You better just quit it.
9 minutes after the hour of 2 o'clock, Thursday, the 22nd day in the month of October, 1987. Okay, it has already started. It has already started, boys and girls. We received a call here at the radio station yesterday from Tupelo, Mississippi, their national headquarters, threatening to file complaints with the FCC because I gave out their phone number. You see, the NFD wants me to roll over and play dead because they don't like me. They want me fired. They want me run out of town on a rail. And we've had at least one report of an unpleasant call to a client. Well, Mr. Capon, if you're listening, tell you what I'm going to do, buddy. I'm going to give you the second break of your life. I know where you live. I know where you work. I know what your phone numbers are. Have I made myself real clear, Mr. Capon? You want to play hardball, boy? I'll play hardball with you all day and all night long. 2:42 the time. Time in Tampa. Hi, Tom. You're on the air at 970 WFLA.
Bob, how you doing?
Oh, great. Thanks, Tom.
Good. It's
Geez, I talked to the petitioner, the Brandon Brain lady, Southside Johnny. It's almost like old times, man.
Well, that's what I'm calling you about. It's funny that you should have picked this show for your topic, because I was calling basically to bid you farewell.
To bid me farewell? What, are you moving?
Yeah, I'm moving my dial.
You're moving your dial? Why would you do that, Tom?
Well, I am part of a large group unknown to you, people such as Lionel.
What, friends of the petitioner?
Excuse me?
What, friends of the petitioner?
Yes, you might even call us that, and Lionel, and even Lud, if you would believe that, and a few others. We are now lone dial searchers, just waiting to
what are you searching for?
We're searching for an alternative to you, Bob.
There isn't any alternative to me, Tom.
You're absolutely right, and
no alternative at all.
We are going to be searching the dial until we can find something that
well, Tom, you know,
that stimulates us intellectually.
Tom, you know I'm always trying to help people out, right? And you know I do a lot of public service on this show.
I don't, though.
So
Bob. That's one of my questions.
Tom, may I extend to you the invitation that if indeed you do find anything worthwhile listening to between noon and 3 on another station, that you call us back and let the people know?
Well, Bob,
I mean, I have enough confidence in my own ability, Tom. That...
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Thank you. What public service do you do? You make all this big money that you're always bragging about. Well, what do you give back to us, your listeners?
Well, Tom, I just told you I'm giving you an opportunity that if you can find a viable alternative that will, intellectually stimulate people, as a public service, I will permit you to come back on the program and tell the people what it is.
But, Mr. Lassiter, I know, I realize you're trying to get...
It gives me goosebumps when you call me Mr. Lassiter. It almost sounds as good as Jacob's Mr. Lassiter.
Well, what I'm trying to say is that what you're trying to do today is get back some of your original callers.
You better believe it.
Okay, well, I can understand that. Then why, when your original callers call, do you make them sorry they even called? And that is the absolute last you will ever hear of them, thus contributing to the demise of your own program.
No, Tom, you see what you fail to understand, that's probably why you don't have your own show. What you fail to understand, Tom, is that these people enjoy the publicity. They enjoy the being heard on the air. They enjoy their chance to take a shot at Lassiter.
Well, Bob, let me ask you this.
And they're still out there.
They are still out there, and like me, my groups, may I say, grows every day with more and more disenchanted listeners.
Right, friends of the petitioner.
Well, and some others, like I said. But,
come on, Tom, you don't have any friends.
No, as a result of you, I do, and for that, I'd like to thank you. We are more...
Are any of your friends over there with you right now?
Yes, they are.
Why don't you have them holler, "Hi, Bob"?
Hi, Bob. Hi, Bob. They're in the background there. If you'd like, you can speak with any of them.
No, that's okay. I take your word for it. I heard them.
Yes. But what I'm saying is, in order to get your show back to what it once was, Bob, I don't know if you can ever get back to what you once were. You can only look in the past.
I think I've lost it, huh?
Mistakes. I think you've lost it, Bob. I don't think you should buy that car because you're going to need your cash, Bob. Because someday you may find yourself like Freddie Mertz. Maybe you and he and your wife and his wife, if he has one.
No, Freddie doesn't have a wife, nor does he have any friends. He'd be a good one, probably, that would like to join your organization.
Well, he's the one who started it back when he was here.
Oh.
And,
boy, it sure has grown.
It's grown at an enormous rate.
Did you have those friends holler, "Hi, Bob," again?
Why is that? Why don't you just speak with them? They're very subdued like myself. They don't...
No, I don't need to speak with them. Just have them holler, "Hi, Bob."
Why? They don't wish to say hello to you.
Oh.
It was like pulling teeth the first
then why
time.
don't you have them holler, "Go to hell, Bob"?
Because we believe in nonviolence and not having to,
Well, saying, go to hell isn't violent.
Well, Bob, that's just not mature, you might say. There's
Then
other...
why don't you have them holler, "Phooey, Bob"? That's nice and nonviolent.
Phooey, Bob?
Yeah, just, "Phooey on you, Bob."
Have you had a spy at our meeting? Because that's the way we open and close every meeting is "Phooey, Bob."
You're kidding me. No, just a wild guess.
I think there might be some wrongdoing in here. I think you may have planted someone. Even Lionel, maybe you may have planted him.
Wait, Lionel, is this you?
Hello, Bob?
Yeah.
This is Lionel.
Yeah, Lionel.
Listen to the man. He knows what he's talking about.
I'm sorry, Bob. Lionel sometimes gets out of control.
Yeah, he certainly does.
In any event, we're going to be dial wandering now, and
well, again, Tom, if you find anything worthwhile listening,
Bob, excuse me, my name is no longer Tom. I'm the leader of the dial wanderers.
The kind of like the radio wanderer.
Yes, you might call me.
Well, okay, RW, I'll tell you what. I again extend the invitation.
Is that my new nickname on your show?
The Radio Wanderer, yeah. I extend the invitation. If you find anything, please call up, because, also, I'm looking for stimulating intellectual radio in Tampa, too, and I could have Mary tape it at home while I'm at work, and I can go home and listen to it.
Bob, I'm sorry, you say you might have found something on another station? I think I've got someone who might have found something on another station. Bob, I got to be running here.
Okay,
I appreciate your time.
Okay, RW, let us know.
All right.
Take care. Clearwater, you're on the air.
Can I tell you about how God answered a prayer for me?
Sure.
Sure. In October 1925, in October 1985, excuse me, watching Channel 22 during their October telethon, I called in one evening on the 25th of October 1985 and pledged by faith, because I didn't have any money, $1,000.
Right, I know. I've heard the story a dozen times from you, and lo and behold, you thought you won a Corvette from Q105. You didn't win a Corvette from Q105, so they offered you $1,000 instead, and you sent the $1,000 to Channel 22.
No, that's totally wrong.
Oh.
Must have me mixed up with somebody else. But anyway, within a month, the next month, which was November of 85, I won not 900, not 100, but I won $1,000 from WWBA. Now, you might say, well, that was totally, a coincidence.
That's right.
I'll tell you another occasion.
No. You proved to me how that was God answering prayer.
How do I prove that?
Yes.
Well?
How do you prove that?
I can only believe by faith.
Oh, I see. You can believe, but you can't prove.
No,
you can think. You can hope that it was God answering a prayer, but you can't prove it.
Well, I can give you other examples.
Sure you can. But you can't prove any of them.
This was an act of faith on my part that didn't have anything to do with prayer, but it was by faith that another thing happened to me. I wrote a letter back in 81, to the PTL Club for a Bible. They said if anyone would like a Bible, please write in and you can have one free. So I wrote a letter, believe it or not, to the PTL Club asking for a free Bible. And then I reread the letter, and I thought it was sort of corny, you know. It sounded sort of stupid. So I put the letter away in my drawer, and a few days later, it might have been a week later, I got a call from a friend who used to work with my mother at this dental office. And we got to talking, and I told her that I had written this letter and that I refused to mail it because it sounded so stupid. Well, she had a brand new PTL Bible, and she said she would be more than happy to mail it to me, and I have that Bible right now.
Isn't that miraculous?
But I have other things that happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
And
did you ever pray for a cure for cancer?
No, it was a miracle.
Doesn't surprise me.
It was a miracle. Not a healing, but it was a miracle in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
About 23 years ago, I was operating my friend's motorcycle.
Fascinating stories. I can hear radios clicking off all over town. Go ahead.
Okay. It was about 23 years ago, during the summer, in northern Clearwater. I was driving my friend's motorcycle for the first time out on the open road. Usually he let me just drive it around my neighborhood, but this time I'm out on the open road with him on the back, and we were in northern Clearwater, and I was following traffic, and I was supposed to make a sharp left, going about 35 miles an hour, and instead of making the sharp left, I panicked and went straight off the road towards a drainage ditch with a high embankment right behind that, and a fenced-in barbed wire pasture.
Great. Don't paint us the picture. Let's just get to the bottom line.
Okay, the bottom line is that we didn't wear helmets in those days. You know, we just had Levi's on. And
perhaps that explains a lot.
And we hit this ditch doing about 35 miles an hour, maybe 30 miles an hour. And the motorcycle, I blacked out, and the motorcycle was laying straddled straight up and down on the handlebars and the rear seat, on the seat. I was running in third gear. My friend was on one side of the motorcycle, and I was on the other. We were both, somebody had picked us up and sat us down on our bottoms. Neither one of us had a scratch or a bruise.
Well, it's much more preferable to be sat down on your bottom than your top, I suppose.
Well, somebody sat us down on our bottom. Somebody took us off the motorcycle and sat us down in this little drainage ditch.
Mm-hmm.
And
of course you were unconscious. You have no idea how you got into that position.
No, I was not unconscious at all.
Oh, strange. I could have sworn you said you were.
I said that
you had blacked out.
I blacked out. I did black out just for
well, that's unconscious.
Before the accident ever happened. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying the motorcycle straddled the ditch, was running in third gear. I looked through the center of the motorcycle. My friend was sitting, looking at me. I was looking at him, and he had a little nick on his forehead. Other than that, we were perfectly healthy. A man ran over, I remember, in a 53 Chevy. He got out of his car, ran over there, and was asking us, if we were okay, and we just looked at him and said, we're okay. We picked up the motorcycle. The throttle cable was busted, and we drove home. And, in 1960...
What a miracle.
In 1968 and 69, I was in Vietnam in a infantry company.
I'm afraid I don't have enough time to listen to your tales of woe.
Well, it's not a tale of woe.
Well, I've already gone 6 minutes with you.
Real.
I've already gone 6 minutes with you, and your proof of prayer is that somebody sent you a PTL Bible and that you won $1,000 from a radio station.
No, I guess I believe God saw my face in that writing that letter for the PTL Bible, and he responded to my face. See, the Bible says...
Gee, it's too bad you didn't ask for a cure for cancer, you know what I mean?
Well, I might just do that.
Yeah, why don't you?
But see, without faith, it's impossible to please God.
Right. And it just never dawned... How old are you?
I'm 38.
38 years old, and it never dawned on you to ask God for a cure for cancer. You just asked God for, things like Bibles.
Well, first became a Christian, I was told that I should have my own Bible. You know, not to use my parents' Bible or a friend's Bible, but that I should have my own.
Well, that's certainly justification for not asking for a cure for cancer.
No, that's why I thought I should write, you know, for the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And lo and behold...
Well, it just seems to me that anybody with this lifetime of proof of how God answers prayer would start praying for things that mattered, that might do the rest of us some good, that might do humanity good.
Well, to a Christian, to have a Bible and to read it...
Yeah, I know, is more important than a cure for cancer. I understand that. Clearwater, you're on the air at WPLP.
Hi, I'd like to say, though, that everything is pro-choice, not pro-choice. You have a choice, and if you choose God, fine. If you choose nothing, fine. If you choose Satan, that's fine, too.
Well, then, does God or does not... Does God... Shut up! Does God or does not God... Oh, I see. You couldn't take part in the conversation. What a pity. Couldn't take part in the conversation because you don't have a brain.
Polish American Society. You want to bitch about them,
Polish
too?
can't be black.
What?
Who says Polish people can't be black? I mean, the word white or black in these cases. Another, Jesse Jackson. I supported the man. I mean, I really did like the way he brought up his issues and the way he discussed and opened up to him. But several times I saw him on TV taking photographs and everything.
Getting hit over the head with all kinds of things.
Hey, what do you mean? I do it.
Get pounded on their noggin and all that stuff.
Day after day I do it. 3 hours a day I do it.
Well,
it can be done.
You do it mentally. You know, you get abused mentally.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but not physically. I mean, you can't take that pounding I mean, they don't do it every weekend, God. They do it all week long. They have a wrestling show in that town, and next evening in that town, and next evening in that town, and God almighty, you know, even the football players have to get a week off to recuperate themselves.
That's true. Thank you, Omar.
Okay.
Take care. We have Gail here on line 11. Gail, you're with GTE Phone Repair?
Yes, this is Gail with GTE Phone Repair.
Gail, there's apparently something wrong with my phone. My name is Bob Lassiter. I do a talk show at WFLA.
Yes.
And I have offered quite a number of fascinating topics, and the phone just isn't lighting up, so therefore there must be something wrong with my phone. I mean, I have very high ratings, and normally I never really have any great problem with calls, not for more than 2 or 3 minutes at a time anyway. And I was wondering how soon you could possibly, get something done about this phone.
Okay. All right, what is the number involved with this, sir?
Well, in Hillsborough, it's 990-9352, and in Pinellas, it's 461-9352. Now, the things I brought up were, Russian wrestlers, whether or not they should be, permitted in the country. I had also suggested that we might have, what amounts to a wet T-shirt contest of the year. I asked the girls to call up, put their T-shirts on, spill water down the front of it, and then describe, to me what it looked like. And then we'd have the guys call up and hoot and holler. And for some strange reason, with topics like that, Gail, the phone just has not lit up. So clearly there's something wrong with it.
Okay. All right, Mr. Lassiter, what I'll do, I'll put in a report on it.
Well, I'd appreciate it.
And we'll start working on it.
Well, I get off at 3. Do you think you could get something done prior to 3?
As soon as possible, sir.
Okay.
As soon as possible. Is there a number we can call you back on, or?
Well, in Hillsborough, 990-9352, or in Pinellas at 461-9352.
Yeah, what are they asking? Okay, one moment, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
They may never even realize they're connected to it.
What are they doing? I can't have this on the air. Turn that... Oh, it's not. Oh, it's just their commercial. Okay.
We appreciate your call here at GTE. Someone will be with you in just a moment.
Hello, this is the supervisor. Can I help you?
Yes. I was just wondering how soon we might be able to get this, problem with my phones rectified.
What trouble are you having, sir?
Well, my name is Bob Lassiter. I do a talk show at WFLA, and I had introduced quite a number of fascinating topics, and...
excuse me, are you talking about a repair problem here with your phone, sir?
Well, I'm assuming it's something wrong with the phone because
Tell
normally...
me what trouble you're having with your phone, sir.
Well, the people aren't calling in on it.
What number?
In Hillsborough, 990-9352, and in Pinellas County, it's 461-9352.
Okay.
And
Is there another number I can contact you on, sir?
Well, the long-distance line is 1-223-9797. It's really a Tampa line. It's not really a long-distance line. It's a Tampa line.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, what I'll do is try and contact you on either one of these numbers. If I can't reach you, I'll go ahead and enter a repair report on it for you.
Well, thank you, because as I pointed out, it's a very popular show, and normally I don't have any trouble at all getting calls, so I can only assume that there's something wrong with the equipment.
Right. Well, if you've got problems with your equipment, then we'll need to take another route on that. Let me go ahead and have your lines checked out for you, though.
Okay. I mean, do you have any problem with the topics that I brought up? I mean, do you see why people might not want to call on them?
I don't know what topics you're talking about. I'm concerned about a repair problem with your phone service, sir.
Well, okay. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
Take care.
Goodbye.
For is 990-9352. All of these weird numbers being given out all over the place. No wonder I'm having a hell of a time on the Phenortner today. God almighty, these are impossible conditions I have to work under. Tom in Seminole. Hi, Tom. You're on the air, WFLA. Tom's listening to his radio. He'll catch on momentarily.
Hello, Tom?
No, this is Bob.
No, wait. This is Don in Seminole.
Okay, Don in Seminole. This is Bob in Tampa.
I got you. Okay, Bob. This is first time caller, Bob.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about dirty stories and whatnot. But before we, you said you're from Jersey?
Yeah.
What part, Bob?
Collingswood.
Collingswood is.
It's right outside of Philadelphia.
Oh, okay. That's nowhere near Broadway.
Nowhere's near Broadway.
Okay. Well, anyhow,
it's right outside of New York.
I've got a little dirty thing here. That riddle. Now, here we go.
You have a little dirty thing there.
A little dirty riddle. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why isn't epilepsy?
Imagine, and I doubt very much that I would want to begin to imagine. Daryl in St. Petersburg. Daryl, you're on the air at WFLA.
Yeah, how are you doing today?
Oh, fine.
Yeah, I couldn't help. I was listening to your show today, and I heard his man just call about the Russian wrestlers. And he was talking about when they slow it down, how fake it is.
Yeah.
And you remarked back that it's real. Then you're going into the NFL. If you slow that down, it doesn't look...
Oh, yeah, it looks like a ballet.
But do you believe that, honestly, to yourself?
What, that the NFL's a ballet? No, I know that it's real. I know the NFL's real, man.
But getting back to wrestling, what about that? Do you think that's real?
You don't think it's real?
No, I don't.
What could possibly make you say that?
Just what the man said before on the instant replay when you slow it down. And
it looks the same way when you do it with the NFL, man.
No, it's not, because when the NFL, when you slow it down, I mean, you've seen hits in the NFL. When they slow it down, it still looks real. I mean, you see heads going flying back, really. In wrestling, when you slow it down, you can tell that it's fake. I mean,
How many hours of wrestling do you have on tape?
I've seen it.
Well, how many hours? But I think there's a possibility, Jan, that you just might be able to get some hoots of your own.
Well, that sounds good.
Okay, thank you, Jan.
Thank you.
All right, this contest is now starting to pick up. You see, all you girls sat back there, waited for an hour and 48 minutes. Jan comes in almost at the last minute. She is probably going to walk off with the $3 prize. It's Jan or Sophie at this point in the game. Joe in Tampa. Hi, Joe. You're on the air, WFLA.
Collingswood Bob. How in the devil are you?
Well, I wish you really wouldn't affiliate me with that particular entity, but other than that, fine.
I'm Philly Joe, so we could kind of put it together.
Okay.
I found this very interesting. I had a dirty joke, but I got to get into something else here. I think you ought to get Jan and Don together on the corner tonight. Did you give Jan the location where Don was going to be?
Well, Jan was listening. I'm sure that if she was interested, I'm not going to solicit overly hard for Don. He can do what he does, but I'm sure that Jan was listening, and if she was interested, she probably jotted down the intersection.
Yeah, it's a darn shame.
Well, look, the thing that I don't understand about you, I've been listening to you off and on for a long time, and I've come to the conclusion you're a loser. Mm-hmm. You're a complete loser. Mm-hmm. Everything you start, never finish. Mm-hmm. You started off with a campaign about the cost of the $3.35 cost of living. Mm-hmm. Then you had people sign.
It's called the minimum wage.
Minimum wage.
Right.
You had people sign things for campaigns.
That's correct.
And then they dropped out. Anything you start, it drops. It don't get nowhere. Mm-hmm. You're a loser. Mm-hmm. Now, you've been married. I'll guarantee in 6 months' time you ain't going to be married anymore.
Really?
Because you're a loser in anything you try.
You kind of hope that my marriage falls apart, don't you?
Well, you haven't...
Would really
You haven't started anything, finished anything you started that come through. And nobody, like you take in the newspapers or anything, nobody comments on what you say. You're the only one, you have your own opinion. It's just ego. You only got ego. And I think you're an intelligent guy, but I just can't understand how you back everything. Now, most talk shows hosts have their callers call once a week. You have your callers call every day.
Oh, really?
And some of them even call twice a day.
Really?
Twice a day. That's why you have so many calls. They call you every day.
Do you live in a gingerbread house or something?
Beg pardon?
Do you live in a gingerbread house? Or maybe an old shoe?
Gingerbread house?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I didn't think you'd know, but that's okay. Go on.
You know, it's the first time I ever called you. I've never called you before, but you're a complete loser. If I had a business or anything, I would love to have you to criticize me, because I think I would be the success of my business. Because anytime you go in a restaurant, you don't get no service. Anytime you buy anything, it's always bad. I don't know. I eat out once a week all the time.
What, at Morrison's Cafe?
Beg pardon?
What, at Morrison's Cafeteria?
I live in St. Pete Beach, and I live eating all these restaurants here on the St. Pete Beach, and I always made it a policy to eat in a restaurant where they serve you cloth napkins. I never eat in a restaurant where they don't get cloth napkins.
Oh, that's good.
Always,
what do you do, steal them?
And I always get good service, and I always get a good meal.
Great, glad to hear it.
Beg pardon?
It's a great, glad to hear it.
And I can't understand. Every time, everything against everything.
Maybe my standards are higher than yours.
Because you're a loser. No, you're a loser.
Oh.
Everything you attempt, why don't you go through with something? You just got people to sign a couple petitions, but nothing ever happens.
What did you expect to happen?
I don't know. Get through. People got, I mean, they give in to you. You get some.
What did you expect to happen?
You succeed in some of your
What
things.
did you expect to happen?
I don't know. If you try to do something, you think you succeed in it. Now you were just.
Well, how do you know I failed in it?
You just about.
How do you know I failed in it?
Just about the.
How do you know I failed in it?
What?
How do you know I failed in it?
Because nothing ever happens.
Oh, are you sure about that?
Positive.
Oh, I see.
Everything you've been, because listen, nothing ever happened. Now you just started about the what do you mean? The agency for decency or something. I don't know what it. You said you were going after that. Well,
that's right.
You go after for a few days, and that's the end of it. That's the end of it.
No, it's not the end of it at all. As a matter of fact, I have right before me the report from the Internal Revenue Service on the National Federation for Decency.
Look, you take all the things that you've started in the last couple months.
Uh-huh.
What happened, any of them?
Good shows.
What?
Good shows. I thought you didn't listen very much.
Oh, who said I didn't listen?
You did when you started.
Oh, I said I listened off and on. No,
that's right.
I listen a lot. No,
you listen a lot, I see. So it's more on than off.
No, but I listen a lot. I listen a lot.
Why do you listen to a loser so much?
Well, because it's interesting.
Oh.
Well, I agree with you're interesting. Listen, you're interesting.
That's right.
It's no question you're interesting, but you're a loser.
What do you think that says about you?
What?
What do you think that says about you?
Well, I don't know. I've been very successful in life. I'm retired now.
Not very successful in picking talk shows, apparently.
Beg pardon?
I said you're not very successful in... What did you do? Did you run a jackhammer or something when you were working? You seem to have a terrible hearing problem.
No.
You're not very successful in picking talk shows.
Well, I've been pretty successful in life. I have nothing to worry about. I live in a very
Just
fine...
pick losing talk shows to listen to, huh?
I live in a very fine condominium on the beach.
I'll bet.
Yes, sir, a very fine condominium. I paid $125,000 for it 7 years ago.
Great.
And it's all paid for, too.
Fantastic.
So, but I know I just want to tell you, I listen to you. There's no question. I'm telling you, I listen to you. But you're definitely a loser. Go through with one of your things. Let me see you succeed in anything you attempt.
I did, sir.
Right.
I got you to call.
576 WSUN in Pinellas if you want to. In Hillsborough, 221 WSUN. Let's go to South Tampa. Hi, South. You're on the air at WSUN.
I hate you.
Well, I'm not too fond of you either.
I'm turning to Larson now, so...
Yeah, well, the sound of your voice makes my stomach turn.
And they took away my radio because of you.
They ought to take away your radio. They probably took away your shoelaces and your belt, too, didn't they?
You aggravated me so much.
Sounds like they took away your teeth.
I'm never turning you on anymore.
You never turned me on, sir. I was faking all the while.
Stop invading my privacy. Get out of here.
Oh, okay. He never turned me on. Never. I always lied to him. Let's go to Clearwater. Hi, Clear. You're on the air at WSUN.
Get alive.
Oh, okay. Let's go to a payphone, and the location is a secret. Doesn't want to say where it's calling from. Hi there, payphone.
Yeah, code breaker. Long time no hear, boss. Listen, we just got them filming Code Breaker in Japan, and wanted to know if you want to make a cameo in it.
I thought you said you just got finished filming it.
Well, we can always, cut and splice and all that.
Well, geez,
Any
I
new
don't know.
codes come out when I was gone?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you still deny the fact that there is some, people speak in tongues, but codes, you don't want to discuss that?
No, I don't want to discuss that.
Over the air.
Not over the air or under the air.
How about if I fax you something?
Oh, that would be exciting.
All right. I understand the fact of secrecy on M5 and all that.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be very careful.
Yeah,
If I told you what the code was, then I'd have to kill you.
Excuse me?
If I told you what the code was, then I'd have to kill you.
Oh, yeah. Did you know the 760 on the dial is off the air? I'm missing Larry King and Jim Bohannon.
Oh, man, what a drag. How long have they been off?
They've been off 2 days already.
I'll be damned.
So,
I tell you, those radio stations, man, they just come, they go, and they come, they go, and they come, and they go. Friday, outguess Gara in there. Boy, that was brilliant, sir. Brilliant. Let's go to, great, doesn't want to say. We love those kind of calls. Somewhere God only knows where. Yeah, hi.
Yeah, hi there. Bob? Yeah, we got a little bit confused the last time we talked about these secret words and phrases. They advertise on late night radio about you concerning your inventions and things like that. And so I sent that in, and that's how...
You sent your radio in, yeah?
That's how I got the game show. So I just wanted to, clear that up with you.
Well, I'm really glad you did, because we were quite confused about that,
All right, and... Okay.
Okay, take care there. Bye. Should have sent his telephone in with his radio as well. Vanilla's fine.
Yeah, hi there, Bob.
Hi.
It's me. Don't make fun of me because I'm on the payphone and I can't hear you. But I spoke to my friend in New York, and this might be important to you. There's a company called FMU, and I don't know what that stands for, but it was advertised somewhere, and they had a tape with your phone call, and it was labeled just Airstream on side 2, cut number 1. It was like the Jerky Boys type of thing.
Are you serious?
You know about that?
No.
And so I was wondering if I could leave the number with Kara, where you can call my friend and find out more about this.
Oh,
they are advertising it in one of their New York magazines, like an underground public...
Oh, you sure can. I'll put you on hold right now. Oh, that'd be interesting. You see, Kara had alerted me that this guy wanted to tell me about somebody in New York ripping off, quote-unquote, my material. And she didn't, I guess he didn't tell her exactly what he was talking about. And he bought her to call up. Or pound 620. Free call if you're a Cell 1 customer. Let's go to a payphone in Tampa. Hi there, Pay. You're on the air at WSUN.
Yeah, hi, Bob.
Hi.
Last week you were talking about how you were surprised at Neil and his changes and stuff like that. Well, I remember listening to you and Neil when you were working in the same station in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking at night, and he didn't defend you at all. And I couldn't understand why you...
Didn't defend me for what, sir? From what? Didn't defend me from what?
For saying a naughty word on the air, and he took management stand, and really was wishy-washy about the whole issue. And another thing, I I called you up to do you a favor about this issue about the tape being someone was making use of your phone calls.
What the hell are you talking about?
I called you up saying that Mr. Airstream was being marketed in New York, and you didn't even bother to call up.
I beg your pardon, we did.
You don't remember that?
Yes, I do remember it. I said, I beg your pardon, we did. What do you mean I didn't even bother to call up?
Oh, I talked to my friend, and he said you didn't call up. So, you know, after I hung up, he said that it's...
You talked to your friend, so you're the one that sent the guy the tape, huh?
Excuse me?
I said you talked to your friend, so you're the one that's sending the tape to start with.
No. He's sending me... It's a history of talk radio. It's a whole big thing, and it just happens to have one of your cuts on it.
Yeah, it just happens the phone number you gave us is an answering machine.
Oh, listen, you're a jerk.
Oh, okay. Let's go to a cell phone. Hi, Cell. You're on the air at WSUN.
Yeah, I hope there's no gun in that house.
Me too.
Brain dead.
Tell me about it.
Hey, I know you're...
Let's go to North Tampa. Hi, North Tampa. You're on the air at WSUN.
Yes, hi there.
Hi.
I have a so-called full plate. Yesterday I received the confirmation I'm holding in my hands about the thing that you didn't believe.
What's that?
And it's called Radio Archive Odysseys. And as I mentioned to you before, on side 2, when I will read it verbatim here, with the quotes, amazing, but this is side B, The Heart of Dixie, Eskimo Takeovers, 69, anyway. Number 1, Tampa Talk Radio Excerpt number 1, quote, Airstream, unquote, recorded off WPLP AM, Tampa, Florida, 88.
That was 87.
Well, this is what I'm just reading. Listen to this 20 times, and you can actually get past this gentleman's pure, unadulterated irateness and experience the humanity, the hurt that underlies, that lies underneath. Quote, have a bad night, hippie, unquote. And that's just one. And I didn't realize, and then going down here, number 8, Tampa Talk Radio Excerpt number 2, quote, Rocky, unquote. The Klansman with a poet's heart. You thought the Civil War was over, ... And I'd like to also say one other thing, since maybe Neil's listening. I'd like to expose who the real queen is. I mean, here's a guy who talks about soaps, Orlando, and Heart, things up the wazoo, TVs, Richard Bay, Kenneth B. Phelps, it's so hard. The reason he watches sports on the TV is because he can see those tight pants on people, and he hates basketball because they're baggy. And it's Louis Miguel and his sexual double entendres and his circumcisions and his things about orifices and heart.
I think we get the idea, yeah.
I just hate it.
Oh, okay. I could tell. I listen to it every day. 576 WSUN in Pinellas, Hillsborough, 2.
Clearwater, you're on the air at WPLP.
Thank you. I remember just a few nights ago, you were having a real bad night. And then all of a sudden, your mood just changed.
Oh, that's right. That's true.
What happened?
Really did.
What happened?
What happened?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Well, you said you'd save it to tell us a few days later.
No, I said in 2 or 3 weeks.
Well, can you tell us now?
It's not 2 or 3 weeks later, is it?
Well, okay. Well, all right, let's just drop that. Let me ask you another question.
Sure.
All right. How come you treat people...
What?
How come you treat people the way you do?
Why do I treat people the way I do?
Like a few calls ago, like, you know, she'll be talking and then all of a sudden you'll be talking like that. Like she doesn't mean nothing to you, and, you know, she's trying to make...
Well, that's known as an aside. That's an old theatrical stunt. It's called an aside.
Well, whatever the hell it is, why do you do it?
Why do I do it? Because I do it well, and they're usually amusing.
amusing people. You know, you get...
It's really far. What?
What did you say about me?
Nothing. I was listening to your conversation. What was that?
You know, do you receive a kick out of this or something?
Do I get a kick out of this?
Yes.
You better believe it.
You know, and you expect to have the greatest talk show.
Ladies and gentlemen. No, I don't expect to. I do. Highest rated talk show in Tampa Bay.
I don't believe that.
Well, I couldn't say it if it wasn't true. I don't give a damn whether you believe it. This is the highest rated Tampa Bay talk. Well, I may be. But you're the one that's sitting there listening to me. And I'm getting paid to do it. You're doing it for free. And you call me a tush cavity?
Free.
Sure you are.
You're doing it for the enjoyment of humiliating yourself.
Oh, I see. You're humiliating me. Thank you for telling me.
You're welcome.
I mean, I would have never figured that out. This kid's classic.
Huh?
But nothing. I was listening. What?
No, say it again.
Say what?
Say it again.
Say what again?
What you just said under your breath.
I didn't say anything under my breath.
Yeah, right. You know, you have a lot of enemies, you know that?
Sure I do.
Didn't that worry you?
Nope.
You know, some people know where you live.
Nope, they don't.
Some people do.
No, they don't.
I do. I do.
Well, tell everybody then.
All right. He lives in Clearwater.
Well, that certainly is a big help, isn't it?
That area.
Oh, that's really a big help.
About 3rd Street.
Mm-hmm. Give them the house address.
Huh?
Give them the house address.
1380. What's the matter? You speechless or something?
Nope. Tell them what color the house is.
Well, I don't know the color.
Tell them what kind of car I drive.
I hope you drive a Volkswagen.
Well, my goodness, if you know where I live, you should know what kind of car I drive.
No, I don't.
Oh.
You know, you've had, I remember, I think it was the Monday.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you listen every night, I see.
Yeah, I do. Just to get the humiliation.
Right.
All right, and, let's see. There was 2 callers that called in that you didn't like.
It's probably a hell of a lot more than that.
Well, I mean, they carried on a very good conversation with you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember who the 2 callers were?
No, I don't.
And one guy said...
No, I talk to several hundred people a week, you see.
Okay, well, one guy said, I think you remember this, that he's going to try and ban your radio station.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you remember?
No.
By petition?
Oh, the petitioner.
Yeah.
Sean, the petitioner, yes.
Well, I'm all for him, and I hope he's listening tonight. And if he is, like to say, I wish you all the good luck.
Well, I just wished if he had all those petitions, he'd bring them in.
Oh, he's
I'm sure they'd be...
I signed them. I've seen them.
Oh, really?
Yes, I have.
Son of a gun.
Yeah.
Isn't it great how children have these imaginations?
Huh? I'm sorry, what?
I didn't say anything.
I didn't say anything. Yeah.
What's the matter? Are you jealous because I have a deep voice and you don't? Someday when you grow up, your voice might change.
Oh, it's changing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it is? You mean it used to be higher? And more childlike still?
You hear me?
Like I said, I'm the one that's getting paid.
Paid?
That's right.
How much do you get an hour?
None of your damn business, but it's a hell of a lot more than you'll probably ever see.
Oh, I've seen plenty of money.
Oh, I'll bet you have, yeah.
Yeah, plenty of money.
Yeah, you see lots of things.
Yeah,
Sugar plums dancing over your head.
What? What are you feeling? You know, why do you do this? Why do you make fun of people like
Why do I do this? Because it beats working.
Beats working, yeah.
Sure does. You know, I come in for 3 hours, I deal with twerps like you, I get paid well, I go home, and I don't have a care in the world.
I mean, doesn't that bother you that, you know, there's certain people I heard that just don't like you?
No, it doesn't bother me at all.
Well, it should.
Why should it?
Because it's not right what you do.
Oh, it isn't right what I do?
No, it's not.
Oh, really?
Like an old lady will call you up.
You mean like it's not right to insult people and call them names?
Yeah.
That's the wrong thing to do, like you've already done twice in this conversation?
Well, haven't you?
No, I don't believe I've called you names.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Like what?
I heard you under your voice.
Well, obviously you didn't, because I wasn't calling you names. I was saying insulting things about you to the audience that they could hear and you couldn't.
See? Now, Haven't you?
Called you names? No. Would you like me to? I'm very good at it.
All right, butthead, let's hear it. Hey.
Yes?
Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Are we on the air?
Yes.
Good, I hope so. Mr. Petitioner out there?
Oh, I'm sure he wouldn't miss the show either. You see, there's a certain mentality amongst the youth in this country where they have nothing better to do. There's not a brain in their head, so they listen to this program. Like you.
All right. Let me ask you another question, okay?
Sure.
How come you like snowbirds, man? How come you don't like brain-damaged snowbirds?
Why don't I like... I've already answered that question tonight.
Well, what was the answer?
Well, I'm sorry you weren't listening.
Well, tell me.
No.
I'm a snowbird.
Really?
Yeah, and you are too.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No.
Yes, you are.
Sorry.
Where are you from? You're from up north. What part?
Right outside of Philadelphia.
You're from Philly?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm from Cleveland.
Isn't that amazing? I kind of suspected you might be from Ohio.
Yep, Cleveland, Ohio. Rock and roll capital city of the world.
Mm-hmm.
In Philadelphia. You know, you were probably one who brought down the word brain damaged snowbird, because you are one.
Mm-hmm.
You are one, man. If you would just stop and play back all those tapes you record of every program.
Oh, I do. I love this show.
Yeah.
Most entertaining talk program on.
You're so stupid. It's pitiful.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I hope they run you off the air.
I'll bet you do.
That'd be the greatest thing that happened to me in a while.
There's no doubt in my mind it would be the greatest thing that ever happened to you.
You there, fool?
Yeah, I'm here. But guess what?
What?
You're not.
To join in the conversation, the number to call in Hillsborough County is 224-0057. In Pinellas County, 393-0057. And anywhere else in Florida, 1-800-334-0057.
You may have been the Mighty Lassiter 3 years ago, but you sure aren't anymore.
Why is that, sir?
You weren't even maybe 2 years, 1 year, but you're a big joke now. You're the joke of Tampa Bay now, Lassiter.
How's that, sir?
43-year-old man sitting up there crying your eyeballs out like you do. It's pitiful. At one time, you were fine on the radio, and now you stink. I mean,
what was it I used to say when I was fine?
Well, you weren't such a big shot. I've got a word for you. You've outgrown your britches. You're just too big for your britches. You got too big for us. So you run off all the old callers, the ones that made your program. You know, you've lost it. You're a joke, Lassiter, and you better get yourself straightened out. What about the ratings? How come you haven't given the ratings lately?
Well, as a matter of fact, sir, the trends just came out today, and
you went down the tubes, didn't you?
No, sir. Actually, I went up considerably. We're over a 6 now in our day part.
We are. Yeah, you're saying we are. Who are you talking about, Lionel?
No, sir. Actually, his day part went down.
Well, are you going to get yourself squared away now and start going back and being the Mighty Lassiter and bring back some of our people like Rocky and Rose and Jacob and all them that we enjoy listening to?
No, sir. Jacob will not be ever printed on the station again, but the others are. And Jacob is permanently banned.
Well, okay, he's been banned.
You know, Bob, I'd like to bust you in the chops.
I'll bet you would, because that's the only way you know how to deal with something, isn't it? The only way you know how to deal with something is to beat the person. You use the bat of your hands, eh?
No, that ain't it, Bob. But
I'm asking you, do you use a bat of your hands?
You know, Bob, one of these days, somebody's going to grab you by that stacking swivel of yours and pump you about 3 times in the knock
that's
locker.
the second time you threatened me, sir.
I tell you what, you just take a flying leap at a rolling donut.
Michael, did you hear what he said to me? He said I should take a flying leap at a rolling donut.
Ma'am, if you have information that I'm a draft dodger, I would highly recommend that you take it to the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Well, I'll tell you, it made me very upset.
But you don't have any such information, do you? Because you're just a good-for-nothing, miserable slut.
That's
a lying
that's
slut.
What you are. You oversized wimp.
Slut.
You oversized wimp.
Slut.
You are the oversized wimp.
Dried up slut.
You are the slut, not me. You are the
dried
slut.
up prune
You are with the gold dripping off you.
What good does a person like Lassiter do, writes Herb? He spews out hate.
and attracts others and shows them how to hate. He hates the president, the country, the church, Ollie North. Oh, possible good could he bring to Florida and the Tampa Bay area? I'd appreciate an apology from the management. And I plan never to hear or listen to your radio station again.
I'd like to know who this 4F'er is that sits up there and tries to tell everybody everything he thinks he knows and all.
No, I was 1Y,
Betty. Where do you get the idea that you know it all?
Betty, I was 1Y.
You're just
So how many people? How many people would you like to waste, Betty?
You're so smart. You get that frog
Betty?
out of your throat. Maybe people could talk to you decently.
Betty, I don't have a frog in my throat. I have a marvelous voice that sends people just insane with ecstasy.
Why don't you wake up and get you a real job?
How many, Betty?
Hello?
Yes, Lisa.
Mr. Lassiter?
Yeah.
You are a schmuck.
Mm-hmm.
Supposed to be a trust fund.
No, ma'am, it's not supposed to be a trust fund. It never was supposed to be a trust fund, ma'am.
You're stupid to talk
Yeah, I'm stupid. You made yourself promises 30 or 40 years ago, and now you want me to keep them.
Well, you find out, okay?
No, ma'am, you'll find out when people like me get sick and tired of old bats like you draining it, and we cut you off. Then you'll find out, ma'am. Oh, sure.
Yes, I do.
Uh-huh.
Well, see, you don't know because you're nothing but a scumbag.
Oh, sweet Christian woman.
There is decency, and why don't you promote it?
Why don't I promote decency? Are you suggesting, Nellie, that I promote indecency?
Mm-hmm.
How's that, Nellie?
Well, that's the way it goes with you.
Well, could you give me an example of how I've promoted indecency?
And I don't
Could
see
you give me an example of how I... You can't give me an example, can you, Nellie?
I don't see you picking on
Nah, you're just an old blowhard, Nellie, because you can't even give me an example of what you have accused me of
you
doing.
You only pick on the little guy.
Right. You can't give me an example, can you, Nellie? Just an old blowhard. Just an old blowhard, Nellie. Give me an example of how I promoted indecency or you're gone.
All you have is rottenness.
You're gone.
Hello?
Hello.
I talk to Bob?
You are. One of our swifter listeners.
Oh, yes, hello?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, Bill.
All right. You're on the wrong hour. I mean, a lot of kids listen to the show.
Oh, give me a break.
Children 9, 10, 11 years old saying they should rub their penises together. Is that nice for kids to listen to?
I didn't tell people to rub their penises together, did I, Bill?
Children do listen.
Oh, children listen to my show.
That's cool. I think what the whole thing's about.
Oh. Yeah.
You know who I think they should get rid of?
No, I would have the Vegas, Mary.
I'll tell you who. You are a jerk. You are obnoxious.
Well, thank you.
You are rotten to their guests. You're the worst they have ever had. Can't they get anybody? Can't they replace you with anybody any better than you?
Mary, are you serious?
Station,
Mary, do you know how these... Mary, calm down a second. Mary,
Levine, why don't they get him?
Mary, calm down a second, please.
And you are obnoxious.
Mary, I want to talk to you.
When your wife...
Mary, come on, give me a break. I want to talk to you, honey.
Boy, you are really...
Mary, give me a free... Support the Contras?
Not in their newspaper editorials, no.
Oh, they don't support the Contras in their newspaper editorials at all.
They can't. They're censored too heavily.
Oh, but they'd love to, wouldn't they?
Well, the fact is
in other words, the publisher of La Prensa calls for whether in print or not.
On this show.
I beg your pardon, sir?
You should get Violetta Chamorro on this show.
Well, I've got you, sir, and you're the one I want. But the fact of the matter is that the publisher of La Prensa calls for the violent overthrow of the Nicaraguan government. And, sir, I promise you that if the publisher of the Tampa Tribune called for the violent overthrow of the U.S. government, there would be major trouble.
Okay.
No, I'm not wrong in anything, sir. No, I'm not wrong in anything.
Well,
that was the reason. Yes, sir, I am.
Yes.
Very highly rated, too, and well paid for my arrogance, because I talk to people like you who claim that, the country's going to be invaded by the commies from Nicaragua. That's bull, sir.
Well, that's your opinion.
No, it's not my opinion. Give me some facts to back up such a ludicrous statement.
Look what they did in the Honduras just a few months ago.
Sir, the United States of America is not Honduras.
Did you forget that already?
Sir, the United States of America is not Honduras, and we'll talk about that in just a second. I'd be delighted to talk to you about that, but first of all, the United States of America is not Honduras. And secondly, they didn't invade Honduras, did they, sir?
Yeah, they only
no, sir,
went
what they
in
did is they crossed the border as they have done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times.
Nicaraguan soldiers.
Yeah, but they have done hundreds of times.
Inside of Honduras.
That they have done hundreds of times.
Straight.
You had better get your facts straight, sir.
You're wrong.
It was not an invasion of Honduras. So it was an incursion across the border chasing troops.
They had independent newspaper reporters that verified this. What are you going to rewrite history?
Sir, let's call a spade a spade. It was an incursion following troops. Wasn't it? It was not an invasion of Honduras. It was not an attack against the Honduran government, was it,
well,
sir?
Well, how come the Honduran
army was not an attack against the Honduran government, was it, sir?
How come the Honduran
Sir, it was not an attack against the Honduran government, was it, sir?
Asked for U.S. troops to come down.
Because he was told to.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me about this. So tell me about this. So tell me about this. No, you do, sir. Tell me about this great invasion that we can expect momentarily from the commies.
Well, I didn't say momentarily in the letter, did I?
Oh, when's it going to happen, sir?
Well, you tell me.
No, you tell me. You're the one who made the accusation.
Well, the fact remains is we see a worldwide communist expansion going on.
I didn't ask for gobbledygook, sir. I said, when are the commies coming?
We see 28 of them.
Sir, I didn't ask for tap dancing.
Soviet or indirect Soviet.
When are the commies coming, sir?
You answer my question.
I didn't hear yours because you were so rude as to talk over me when I was trying to ask you one.
Well, you know, we're being rude to each other because you're an incredible liberal. I'm a conservative.
An incredible liberal.
You know, we're not going to have a civilized conversation.
Oh, I see. You know my politics simply because I don't agree with you.
You want to talk about the poll that we did?
Well, we'll talk about your poll, sir, but just a second here. Where in God's name do you get off identifying my politics simply because I disagree with you? That makes me a liberal. Oh, my God.
Hey, listen, I was told that you were a liberal.
You were told that I was a liberal.
Yeah.
Do you believe everything you're told, sir?
Well, you know, the fact that you're juxtaposed with me on this particular issue, it's not a conservative position, so what can I assume?
Let's go back to the invasion, sir. When's it coming? When are the Russians coming, sir?
Well, you tell me.
Yeah, I will tell you, sir. They're never coming.
Okay, good. Okay.
If you are truly a major in the United States Army, then you know, sir, that it is all but impossible for the Soviet Union to invade this nation. Don't you, sir?
That's not what the letter says, and you're using a typical tactic that somebody without information or
if it's impossible, sir, if it is impossible for the Soviet Union to invade this nation, sir.
Do you want to talk about the poll that we conducted, or do you just
we
want
will,
to
sir.
on?
We will, sir. Just as soon as we clear up your misinformation. If it is impossible for the Soviet Union, if it is impossible, sir, this is my show. Would you like to be on it? Don't tell me then how to run it.
Hey, listen.
You're the one who's out there trying to raise money, buddy, not me. I get paid with or without you.
Hey, I get paid with or without you. You asked me on the show. I didn't ask to be on
because
this show.
I like to have lunatics on my program, sir.
Well, you're a lunatic, too.
Well, we're going to go right back and finish this issue. If it is impossible for the Soviet Union to invade this nation, it's really impossible. It's really impossible for Nicaragua to, isn't it, sir?
Not hardly. They're expanding as we speak.
How many people are in Nicaragua, sir? 3 million, in case you didn't know, and you probably didn't.
Well,
how far are they away, sir?
As long as you're insulting me, I'll say, look, your revision and living in Tampa right now
in
that
Nicaragua,
are laughing
sir.
at you hysterically.
There are 3 million people in Nicaragua. Is that not a fact?
That's true.
How close is the closest U.S. border to Nicaragua, sir?
Well, that's not the point.
Yes, it is the point. It is an impossibility for a nation of 3 million people 1,000 miles away to invade the United States of America.
Mexico right now as we speak. They have guerrilla activity going on in southern Mexico right now.
Yes, sir. That's right. There is communist guerrilla activity in Mexico.
Right.
And there's going to be a hell of a lot more of it, sir. There's going to be an incredible amount more of it because of people like you. Pig-headed, ideological conservatives.
Yeah, the same guys like you that after 1975 didn't say a word as the North Vietnamese expanded all through Asia and killed 3 million Cambodians. You're an incredible guy.
Yeah, I'm an incredible guy. You know where I was in 75, sir?
Yeah, tell me.
Well, no, you just told me.
No, I said, what were you doing?
No, you didn't. No, sir, that's not what you said at all. No, sir, that's not what you said at all. It's not what you said at all. It's not what you said at all. You accused me. You made a statement of fact.
You know,
with nothing
to get
behind
your ratings up, I know you have to do this.
Absolutely nothing behind it.
You want to get to the poll that we did, or what?
We're going to get to a lot of things, Major. A lot of things.
If I choose to stay on the phone and take
Get off my phone, you jerk, you miserable son of a bitch. I have no intention of having you on my show.
An Eastman, man, and that just lulls you to sleep. The greatest sleeping fella is.
Well, yeah, how about our Art Snowman? Does he put you to sleep, too?
Oh, God, yeah. And, you know, a lot of times if you're on an afternoon...
We're talking today about the relevancy of dining rooms. How do you feel about that? Do you think that we should have dining rooms?
Hey, if you want an afternoon nap, sometimes catch Janet Scala.
Oh, the Star Lady.
And for weekend naps, I've been, I don't know if I've been able to find Tim Cold or not. I haven't heard him lately.
No, Tim's not on in this market anymore. Nobody carries the Sun Radio Network. That's great broadcasting.
I had a tape.
Titan.
I had a tape of you and Tim together. He came. You were unplopped then.
Yeah.
He came groveling, and I'm talking groveling. Before you and Mary got married. Brought you a bottle of wine. Said all kinds of sweet things to you. Wanting to put out the peace flag.
And it's good for they're giving away free stuff. And I was one of the people that won some hot dogs.
You won some? Were they good?
Yeah, they were pretty good.
Yeah, how many did you get?
Well, you know, I had 8 in a pack.
You got 8. What did you have to do to get them?
I had to call in. Be the right caller.
Be the right caller?
Yeah.
What was the right caller?
Number 8.
Number 8. Did you hear the other 7? See, I used to work in radio, and we always used to do wild and crazy things like, be the 73rd caller, and you'll win tickets to the rock concert. And we'd take 5 or 6 of them, and, you know, bam, we'd get tired of that. The 7th caller would be number 73. You're a winner. Did you hear the other 7?
I was a number 8, so...
But I'm asking, did you hear the other 7, or were we zooming?
I didn't hear the other 7. I just called in, and as soon as they said be the 8th caller, I called in, and bam, up. You're the 8th caller. You get the dogs.
Didn't get a fizzy signal or nothing.
Nothing.
Son of a gun.
So I said I'll take it. 2 things.
Yeah.
What is your theme? That jazz tune that you play before you come on?
It has no name, actually. It's just a piece of production music.
Really?
Yeah, it's just a 50-second cut. It's just a piece of production music that I stumbled upon and liked.
That's sharp. I mean, that's really sharp.
It reminds me, it has to me kind of a Saturday Night Live kind of sound. Maybe no one else agrees with that. What difference does it make? That's the way it sounds to me. I enjoy that music, and so therefore that's why I use it.
Yeah, you know, I've always wondered what that was, but I said, well, let me call and ask. 2 things. You got the Vanessa, please?
Yeah, it's 149.
Thank you, Bob. Have a good day.
Anytime.
We're about breaking down national barriers, and I had been telling people some time ago that the idea that the big money men who control things were going to divide different nations, different continents up into and make Europe by one nation by January the 1st, 1993. Now, in the St. Pete Times yesterday, on page 19A, people ought to look at this, and it tells us it's substantially the way I've been telling people for months, and of course they ridicule some of these ideas, but
Can't imagine why.
It's just something I think people should be interested in, because we're going to face that in this hemisphere in the not too distant future. We already have a free trade policy with Canada now. It's something that I think people they're missing.
So let me see if I have this right, John. There was an article in the St. Petersburg Times yesterday.
Section
19A that
Europeans eager
all the European borders are going to fall.
The Western Europe, I beg your pardon.
Western Europe, yeah.
Western Europe, yeah.
And it's all going to be one country. Headed up by John Denver? Is this the John Denver thing?
No, this is.
You know, that's what John Denver wants.
Well, I certainly don't want it, but what it is, there'll be unrestricted immigration and unrestricted trade. So this is the forerunner of a world government, and it's an economic merger, and the political merger will come later. And I just thought a lot of people missed that altogether, but you're going to be hearing more about these things.
Well, that's probably, John, because the editors and publisher of the St. Petersburg Times are clearly one-worlders.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, this came from the Washington
John,
Post.
did you realize that if it weren't for the rich people in this country, everybody would be poor?
Well, I'm not. Listen, I recognize we need people with money.
That's right. Well, otherwise everybody'd be poor.
Well, excuse me. When I state that, I'm talking about a few of the big bankers that are promoting these things. The average man with money doesn't have any more political power than some of them do, but the average man with money doesn't have the political clout that people think he has. He might in his own little town, but I mean nationwide he likes them. You see, there's so many millionaires today, and I wish I were one of them, which I'm not, but there's so many millionaires today that just people don't realize that. Well, that was what I wanted to comment on, Bob, and I just thought it was very important, and as I say, I've been telling people for a long time about these things, but it was on section 19A of the St. Pete Times of yesterday. It goes into quite a detail about it.
Okay, thanks, John.
All right.
Take care.
Bye.
I want somebody down in the sales department to monitor that station. I think TKN's giving out my talk lines. I want you to get somebody on it right now. Or, if they're giving out my talk lines, I want the lawyer to call them. That's not the normal talk. Okay, let's go to Fred in Dunedin. Fred, you're on the air at WFLA.
Oh, Bob, how you doing?
Ah, great, Fred.
Okay, I don't know who the hell TKN is, so I can't talk about that.
Okay.
First, got two things on my mind,
I know they're giving out my phone numbers now. Yeah.
Yesterday afternoon, I just want to say that you probably fool most of the people most of the time, but there's still a few of us out here that I'm sure have known all along that underneath all that gruff talk and action that you have, that there's a real pussycat.